There we go. It shows that we got 3 lights. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports here live in Eunice. And we are going to try our first ever hand at a track and field meet. This is a simple qualifier meet. There's only 3 teams here, and each team only brought a handful of folks. So this is going to be quick. It's going to be a test. Resendo's here. Welcome, Resendo.
Hello, Mr. Jones. How are you?
I am doing all right. We were scrambling around to get our stuff set up. What we're going to do here today is Resendo's going to be up here in the booth. He don't have Charlie. It's just going to be Resendo on the camera. He'll have his headset on. I'm going to get down and walk around at some of these events. I'll tell him where I'm at. He can zoom over, check it out. We'll talk a little bit. It's going to be interesting because it's windy, so our portable mic is done through a phone, and we're likely going to have some wind feedback. But once again, this is a kind of a new thing.
Yes, sir.
Resendo actually had this idea back during basketball season. We were able to present it to the station, and we're going to try to make it happen here today. We're doing this qualifier meet. This is not a normal track meet. They're not giving ribbons. There's not a winner or a loser. This is a simple meet to see if people can qualify for state in whatever event it is they're trying to get qualified in. This is a qualifier meet. So for those of you that are going to be asking me who's in first and who's got the most points and who got the gold and who got the bronze, we're not doing that today. It's not one of those kind of track meets, and we're just using this as practice here today. So I'm Jimmy Jones alongside my partner, Resendo Caballero. I'm getting ready to head down here in the next few minutes, and we will kind of cover some things, and we'll talk about this stuff as we go. Any thoughts, Resendo?
I know. Just bear with us. Like Jimmy said, this is the first time we do this, so we're going to try to work out the kinks. But we're going to do our best because we're great at winging everything. So
that's right. We'll play it by ear and see what happens.
Yes.
It's windy. That's all I can say, and I'll say it again. It's windy. So the wind is going to blow our mics. It's going to sound strange. It's going to blow the notes and things that I have. But we'll get down there. I'm going to try. I will tell you, as those of you that don't know, the shot, the discus, the javelin are over on the other side, outside this stadium, outside. And I'm going to try to walk out there some. It's a long ways over there, though. And it looks like down there we've got somebody who's already qualified in the high jump the way they're celebrating. So I'm assuming they've already started. So I'm going to get down there on the track. It looks like Elijah Melanson, but I'm not sure everybody's hugging him. And they've got the bar way high. I don't know what it's on. I'll get down there. We'll get going here in just a few seconds. We appreciate you listening to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports.
As Jimmy walks, I'm going to try to zoom in over here with all the action. We're kind of a weird situation here, but I'm going to try to. Okay, thank you. Jimmy's talking to me behind me. He's trying to help me out here as I'm the only one here in the press box tonight. And I believe that was a Melanson out there qualifying for state in the high jump as Jimmy speeds down to get some information for us. That's Coach Lord and Mr. Vincent out there trying to pick everything up now. But I believe that is a Melanson. Zoom in a little bit more. Or am I wrong? Sorry about the camera. It is windy. No? I don't know who that is. Oh, I apologize. That is Adolfo. That's a Rodriguez camera. His last name is Rodriguez. I'm not the world's best camera guy, so. It was not a Melanson, it was somebody else. We got Mr. Jones crossing the track there, heading that direction. Hopefully he give me a call here so I can accept the call and shaking the hands out there doing all the good thing. So once again, this young man, I believe he's an 8th grader. Gonna go here for his first attempt, I believe. And he didn't make it on that attempt. I do know the camera is crooked, so. And I do realize it is moving a lot. I will fix that tripod in a minute. It's going to be difficult because our window here sits kind of in the center up here. And as everybody knows, the track is round. And we got events on all sides of the track. Right now, this event's on the northwest side of the field. As this young man goes for a second attempt and misses it. So I don't know if he's going for a record here or a personal record or what. We don't have any information for that, but Jimmy's down there trying to get it for us. As I sit here and speak, he'll probably give me a call here. And like Mr. Jones said, this is a qualifying event only, track meet. We will have no ribbons. We won't have no gold, first or second ribbons. Take the qualify or don't type of event. We do have some running events later on this afternoon, but for now we're doing all the field events, which include the high jump, the pole vault, the long jump, the shot put, and the javelin, I believe. So this young man's going up here for his third attempt. He's rocking back and forth. Oh, he just missed it by a smidge, Charlie would say. But he seemed a little disappointed there, but he tried his best. That's all you can ask from an athlete. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Mr. Jones down to get some information right now on all the participants here on the jump. On this other side, you have the pole vault going on as well. So in this case, it's going to be kind of difficult. We got a couple of events going on at once. Oh, there he is right there. Yes, sir, Mr. Jones. You are live. Can you hear me? Jimmy. Jimmy, can you hear me?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
All right, there we go. All right. Hey, we've got Sebastian Rodriguez down here at the high jump. He just jumped 5'8", and he qualified for state. Young man's an 8th grader, and he is now on his way to Albuquerque. So pretty cool deal here for a young man and for the Eunice Cardinals here in this qualifier meet. That's what we're all about here today, is getting folks qualified to go to Albuquerque. And Sebastian has just punched his ticket on the way to Albuquerque here in a couple of weeks. So pretty cool deal.
Congratulations to Sebastian. You said he's an 8th grader, correct?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so he's excited. Had a couple of good jumps at the next bar over that as well, and had a shot to get it, and so a young man that's got a lot of potential coming up in the future. So exciting day for him for sure.
A beautiful job for that young man. Congratulations to him. Like you said, he's an 8th grader, so the future is looking bright for the Eunice Cardinals on the field events out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How are you, sir? You doing all right? I'm doing well. Is this young fellow related to you?
That's his younger brother.
Is that the little brother? All right. We are live on the air. We've got Rosendo up in the booth, and we're doing our first ever track meet today. We're trying to cover the track meet and talk to some folks. Sebastian, is that your name?
Yeah.
On your way to Albuquerque, huh?
Yeah.
All right. How you feel about that?
Feel very good.
That's pretty impressive for an 8th grader. You get to make that trip up there and go enjoy the hotel and the good meals and all that good stuff, and go up there and represent Eunice. How you feel? You think you get any higher than that as you continue to progress here?
Yes, I hope I do.
That'll be good. Any final thoughts for all those folks back listening at home?
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. There you go.
Well, we're proud of you, man. Exciting, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Rosendo, I'm going to work my way over here and check and see if we got anybody jumping on the pole vault yet.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll call you back here in a few seconds.
You got it, boss. Good job out there.
All right.
There you go, folks. Our first qualifier here this afternoon in Eunice. As he's an 8th grader, Mr. Rodriguez is going to qualify there to go to state on the high jump. Beautiful job by that young man. And like he said, never give up. That's the most important part, never giving up out here. Especially on this track and field events. Sometimes they can be difficult. Sometimes they can be overwhelming with the wind, with the heat. But that young man out there represented it very well. As I mess around here with the camera again. It's going to be a full-time job there with the camera as I'm by myself running the board, the camera, the phone, fighting the wind. trying to stay at balance as much as I can as we're out there trying to get some action at the pole vault area. And once again, this is just a qualifying meet here in Eunice for athletes to qualify to go to state here. This afternoon we have Tatum and Eunice at this meet. And so far for the field events on the boys side, we've had Sebastian Rodriguez qualify, and he is an 8th grader for the Eunice Cardinals. As I try to get this right up here. And I think I kind of do. That's a good spot. Zooming in there as they're trying to get that pole set for the pole vault area. Right now we got a bunch of action over here also in the long jump going on out here. And like Mr. Jones said, the wind is blowing. It's coming out of the west. It's not too bad, but it's fair. It's a decent wind for this afternoon here in Eunice. It's not too hot. It's kind of overcast. Kind of give you a little bit about the weather. And as they sit there trying to get everything situated over there, I'm going to zoom in over here towards the pole vault area. Try to do it as calm as I can. And there you go. Just like that. I don't think I could do any better. Probably could, but I'm not going to right now. It's a lot of airtime here as we got a bunch of blue and red out there and a little bit of black. I'm assuming Tatum is in black, Eunice is in red, and blue is Jow out there. And I just got a text message. Thank you very much, radio station, Evie. Appreciate that. As that young man there went for a jump over here. We have no names right now or numbers to identify him, but that was a Jow participant going out there for the long jump. And like Jimmy said, he will try to go out there to the javelin and the shock puts, but those are outside our stands here, and there's like bushes in front of them, so we'll try to give you as much coverage as we can on that. So I'm gonna do a commercial real quick, see how those sound. So we'll be right back.
BTH Services and Rentals, LLC is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. They wish all the young athletes an incredible basketball season and send a special shout out to the class of 2025 seniors. Congratulations on this milestone. Go Big Red. BTH Services and Rentals, proud supporters of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Bart Parker, owner of Redbird LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of the Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids in their academics and athletics. And they realize balancing both is challenging, and they appreciate the Cardinals' determination. Redbird knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they're cheering
Jimmy
them on
Jones.
all the way. Supporting the Eunice Cardinals, Redbird LP.
Back down here live again. This time I'm over at the pole vault where we've got the girls' pole vault going. We've got Miss Kinley Allen of Tatum about to take her first jump, and it is windy down here is all I can say. So I'm trying to kind of halfway block out the wind and cover that up as best I can. Miss Kinley Allen of Tatum. The young lady's getting ready to take her first jump on a windy afternoon here in Eunice.
Do you know what height she's starting at, Jones?
I believe they're starting at 7 foot.
Okay.
And I'm not even 100% sure what qualifying is, what the goal is here. They told me she was actually going to start below the qualifying height. I'm assuming it's probably 8.86, and she is over that first one. And so she's going to clear the first bar. And so that's Miss Kinley Allen. And for those of you that kind of missed our intro, we're just kind of doing this on the fly. We're learning as we go and just trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. You know, something that might be cool in the future, Lucindo, is to have multiple people down here doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I agree with you on
have
that.
multiple people calling you.
Hopefully when Charlie gets back up here, you can probably run up the camera up here, and you and I can be down on the field as well.
Yeah,
the only thing
absolutely.
we got to time our phone calls to him. That's probably the only thing we'll have to do.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
And the other thing, Mr. Jones, I was going to suggest, when you interview him, face him towards me. That way I can get y'all's faces.
I got you.
You know
The
what I'm saying?
problem is then we're looking right into the wind.
And the sun, yes, sir.
So when we turn our back to you, then it kind of almost blocks the wind a little
That's
bit.
probably our good side anyways, right?
Yeah, that is definitely the good side. So once again, Miss Kinley Allen of Tatum, she's going to clear that first bar. They're going to move up now. We'll see what they tell us that they're moving this one up to. And then I may stick around for at least one of these jumps. And then I'm going to move on over down to the long jump areas. We've got a bunch of folks over there.
Yeah, that field event for the long jumps, it seems like there's more people participating over here in the long jump.
Absolutely. And they're getting ready right beside us here to start the girls' high jump as well. And in that girls' high jump, they've only got one. Wind is blowing me. One competitor as well, and that is Camila Baeza of JAL, and she's getting ready to start right here to my left in the middle of this windstorm.
Okay, if I have time, I'll swing both ways, to the right and to the left, try to get both actions if I can.
Yeah, so it looks like Baeza's over there. She's just getting ready to warm up a little bit. They're getting ready to get started. They're still trying to get this crossbar set here at the pole vault. And once again, it is windy.
Yeah, somebody lost their hat out there.
Yeah. I actually came up here without my hat. I had my hat up there in the booth and my sunglasses as well, and I walked off and left them all up there.
Want me to throw them to you?
You could probably toss them out the window, and the wind would blow them over here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they might. You never know.
Yep.
Do we have any boys competing over there in the pole vault, or just girls today right now?
Yes, they do have some boys that are going to compete. They've got one girl, and then they're going to have 3 boys after this girls are done. So we'll try to bring you live the action coming from the 3 boys that'll be pole vaulting here as well a little bit later. But right now, they are handling the girls' pole vault. And so once again, only got one competitor. That is Kinley Allen of Tatum, who's over here pole vaulting. So.
And the only people competing today, sorry to cut you off, Jimmy, the only people competing today is Jal, Tatum, and Eunice, correct?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Okay.
And once again, this is just a qualifier meet. So I've already had people asking me, like, how are they doing points, this and that. This is not a normal track meet. And we are just out here kind of practicing for our broadcast, making sure that we can do this and make it happen. So.
Yeah, trying to work the kinks out apart as well. That's
right. Looks like they got the standard set here and the crossbar set. I'm going to ask one of these coaches what height they're at now. All right. So that last jump over there was at 6'6", and so they've now moved it to 7 foot. So Miss Kinley Allen will have her first attempt at 7 foot here in just a few seconds.
And just a quick question: do you know what the qualifying height is for the pole vault?
I do not know for sure. I used to, but I don't remember anymore.
That's
I'm
fine.
sure I could.
We'll find out in a minute. If she clears it, she's going to celebrate like crazy. So we'll figure out then.
That's right. So I know on that last jump, kind of act like one of her hands were bothering her. She was shaking one of her hands, and now it looks like they were messing with her wrist on her right hand. That's one thing about this pole vault. Of all the other events, this one bangs you up occasionally. Just ask Chloe Jones.
Yeah, poor Chloe. Don't ask Chloe.
Or our young man, our little 8th grader that was pole vaulting for Eunice. He took a spike in the wrist the other day.
Yes, sir, he did. Had to get some stitches on that wrist.
Yes, for sure. So just one of those events that can bang you up a little bit if you're not careful.
That is absolutely right.
Kinley back on the runway, getting ready to make her first attempt at 7 foot.
I'm going to try to hold this camera as steady as I can.
Here she goes.
There she is.
So she is up and she is over, and so she's going to clear 7 foot. And so a good jump there by Kinley, and Miss Allen, and she's grabbing that wrist again. And I'm going to walk over here and check out this high jump really quick as Camila Baeza goes up and over. Here, Miss Baeza is of JAL. And so pretty good jump there for her first jump of the day.
Yeah, she cleared it pretty easily from my point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So Miss Baeza's up and over, and I'm going to ease on down to the other end of the field, and we'll see if we can get some long jump triple jumpers.
Okay. For now, I'm going to stay over here towards Baeza to see if we can get another jump in there as you walk over the other way, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds like a good idea. Once again, my papers get to blowing in the wind, and makes a lot of noise, a lot of wind noise. So
it's probably you breathing so hard, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm breathing because I'm old and out of shape, and
we're gonna get you a little cart.
I need to get out here on this track on my day off and do a little jogging or something, or even just some walking would work.
Speed walking for you, as Baeza goes here for her second attempt, and she misses that one. I don't know the height of it, but she misses that second attempt on that second height.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. They said we're blasting a little bit.
Yes, sir. Not blasting. That wind's coming in pretty strong.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll turn you back up once you finally make it over towards the long jump as the boys are competing over there.
Yeah, trying to take a look down here and see who's what. The young man there, as he took off, kind of chopped his feet. And so, you know what I might do is walk on the other side so that I can turn my back to the wind.
Okay.
Otherwise, this wind is going to interrupt our broadcast for sure.
So as you're doing that, Baez is trying to get set here for her second attempt on this new height here on the jump over here. I can't remember what it's called.
Hey, we got our broadcast partner here. We're live on the air, and we got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Mr. Adam down here. What are you doing today, Mr. Adam?
Triple jump, 110 hurdles, and 300-meter hurdles.
All right. Well, we'll have to get you covered, get you some air time. And if you smoke, everybody, we'll have to meet you at the finish line for a little after-race talk, okay?
Maybe my 110 hurdles people can just give it to me.
There you go. They
one inch up.
I like that confidence.
I think we can get it. He's confident, huh? Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Anyway, strolling down here to watch a little long jump. So I'm going to get over this way so I kind of get my back to the wind. Maybe it'll make it sound a little better.
It does.
All right. Trying to look and see who we've got up here next.
Right now, I got you.
How are you, sir? Doing all right? You got spikes?
Yeah.
Oh, but have to get you some slicks, huh? Good to see you. All right, so we've got another Eunice competitor here on the runway.
He's warming up, correct, or did he just scratch?
You know, I believe that was an actual run through, like a jump. I think that's one of his. I think I heard Gabe yell scratch, so it looked like he was about a foot over the jump board. So, anyway, trying to see who we've got here as far as our long jumpers go. So in the boys' long jump, we've got a whole host of Eunice Cardinal long jumpers. We've got Jesse Ornelas. We've got Lucas Lopez. Got Grayson Meek, Omar Armendariz, and Ezekiel Garcia. Those are the jumpers that are listed. And now that's Adam Wattis. He's out there. He's triple jumping.
That looked like a pretty good jump by Adam.
That does look like a pretty good jump. That's our man, Adam. He's our broadcast partner, as he is up there and through. I missed what distance he said there.
I want to say if it's 22 and a half, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be.
Yeah, because that's pretty far.
Yeah, he had a fairly good jump, so we'll see what, like I said, they said what his distance was, and I just missed it. I was shuffling through papers trying to find the list of the boys that are triple jumping here. We've got a whole list of, there it is. Boys triple jump is Adam Wattis of Jow and Aaron Mariscal of Tatum.
So this is Aaron Mariscal jumping right now for Tatum, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. He takes off. He got a good run there.
Yeah, and so he got marked a pretty good jump for Mighty Skull. We'll see what they yell out here on the distance. 38-2 on that triple jump from Mighty Skull at Tatum, so a pretty good jump there for that young man.
Yes, it was.
I don't know what the qualifier, I was trying to look here and see if it said. Mighty Skull has actually jumped farther than that before. His personal best, according to the documents here, is 39.3. And now I believe we're back to the long jump. This is Jesse, I believe Jesse Ornelas. And that looked like a fairly good jump. He hit right on the board that time, so we'll see what they holler here. And this is a long jump, so they're kind of doing these at the same time.
Okay, squeezing the long jumps in between the triple jumps.
Yeah, they said 17.9 on that one. Let's see here if I can get back to my long jump sheet. The high jump.
And like Mr. Jones said, this is just a qualifying meet. It's not a competitive meet. They're just a qualifier for state. As Lopez goes up to Ford, I think that's a.
That was Jesse Ornelas.
The one who just went was Lopez, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Lucas Lopez. That was Lopez, and he had a great jump, but he was about a toe over the board.
Oh.
And I believe this is going to be Grayson Meek.
Grayson Meek.
Grayson Meek.
From Eunice.
So, yes.
Okay.
All of these long jumpers are Eunice, and then we've got a few triple jumpers from other towns, but all of the long jumpers are Eunice.
Okay. And Lopez plays both sports. He runs track, and he's an 8th grader and also plays on the varsity baseball team.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Grayson Meek, a young man who got up here this year, played some football, if I recall correctly. So
he's out there without an undershirt on, showing him guns off.
Yeah, he's welcoming everybody to the gun show. And here he goes down the runway. Oh man, he was about a toe again over the line. That's back-to-back jumpers for the Cardinals that are just a hair. I mean, less than a couple of inches as they're stepping over that board. It was a really good jump there that time by Meek. Just a little long on the step, on his what do they call it, the penultimate step, that
yes,
last
sir.
step before you take flight. Just a little bit long on that last step. And so that'll bring up Omar Armendariz. Omar, another one of these youngsters that plays just about every sport that there is. And so Omar out there on the runway, ready to go. Here he comes. And it looked like he had a good mark there, so we'll see what the distance is, see if we can hear Coach Gaetan holler out the distance. (16.7.5).
That's a good jump by that young man.
Yeah, it is a good jump. So 16.7.5 by Omar Armendariz. And I believe that'll bring up, is it Ezekiel Garcia? Or is that Jesse?
I think that's Jesse.
Okay. All right. So maybe Zeke isn't jumping. Trying to look here. Yeah, so he's back on the runway, getting ready to get started here. And here he goes. He did it again. He's not liking his steps down the runway. You know, a lot of okay, so now they're back to the triple jump. So we'll have our main man, Adam Wattis, our young man who has broadcasted games for JAL through No Mark Broadcasting for a couple of years. And so he does a little bit of everything. He gets out here and participates and broadcasts occasionally.
Let's talk about a busy young man, huh?
Yep. So here we go with Adam Wattis, the senior, the prom king from JAL. He's coming down the runway. His first hop is good, and he is down there, and it looked like a fairly good jump there for Adam. We'll see what kind of distance they holler out. 38.6.
That's not a bad jump. Do you remember what his first one was?
So his best jump, I believe, coming in was 37.2. So that's a foot better than his best. Not sure what qualifying is, though, here. And that'll bring up, I believe it's going to be Aaron Mariscal
Yes, sir,
will be jumping next.
From Tatum.
Yep. This is a young man from Tatum.
I believe he plays basketball for their basketball team. They're one of the point guards.
Sure. Oh, he got that one good. He was right in the center of the jump board.
First call.
So we'll see what they say for the distance.
First call for the 3200.
38.1 for Mariscal.
38.1, huh?
38.1. So next up, we'll be back to the long jump, and we'll have Jesse Ornelas.
This is his third jump, right?
I believe that's right. I don't know if I missed any before I got here or not. They're saying last one, so I'm assuming you are correct.
Okay. It's now or nothing, right?
That's right. All right, he got a mark that time, so we'll see what kind of distance he got. Once again, Jesse Ornelas from Eunice with that jump.
Who is an eighth grader as well.
18.3 for the youngster as he jumped out there, 18.3. That is over 2 feet better than his best jump of the year. So definitely improving that youngster as the season goes on for sure. And I believe this is going to bring up the eighth grader, Lucas Lopez.
So Eunice has a lot of eighth graders trying to qualify right now in the jump.
A lot of very athletic eighth graders for Eunice this year.
Oh, that's a great jump if he didn't scratch on that.
Oh, they scratched. I mean, a toe over like a toenail.
That little bit, right, makes a big difference.
Yep. So that'll bring up, I believe, Grayson Meek, as Meek is up there. I think they're going to ask for a courtesy measure here just to see what the distance was. It was a 20-foot jump for the eighth, but he was about an inch. They said about the width of his toenail over the board. So it won't count, but just mentally so that he knows he's a 20-foot jumper as an eighth grader. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive, actually.
So that'll bring us back to Meek, Grayson Meek, on the runway. Ready to go here. Oh, man.
Scratch again, huh?
Yes.
Got to get them steps down.
Meek is about an inch over that board. It's what's so hard in the long jump is getting your athletes not to focus on that board, getting them to trust their step, drill that step until you've got it, and not look at the board. Because a lot of times when you're running full speed and you look at that board, as your momentum carries you, if you try to put that foot on that board running full speed, a lot of times you'll step just over. I know when Chloe was jumping, when Ovi was jumping, that was something that we always had to work on with them. And there is Armendariz with the jump, and he is going to get a mark here, so we will see what that mark is. 17 even for Armendariz.
And I believe that's Ornelas back up there right after again? Oh, that's Garcia, right? Zeke Garcia?
Is it Ezekiel Garcia?
Ezekiel, yes, sir, it is. I think this is his last attempt as well.
Yeah. So here we go with Zeke. Oh, man, his steps were really off.
Way off.
Yeah, like halfway down the runway, you could see that his steps were off, and he makes the jump. It's a 13.9 jump right there.
And once again, out of those athletes, I think only 2 of them were upperclassmen and the rest were 8th graders. And like Mr. Jones said, a lot of talent down there.
A lot of athletic youngsters down here for sure. So we've got some pole vaulters coming. I'll ask Coach Gabe. I think that's going to conclude the triple and long. Gabe, is that all your triple and long jumpers? Awesome. You the man. Yep. All right, I'm going to try to walk over here really quickly. I don't know what kind of, what kind of coverage we can get, but I'm going to try to walk over here toward the shot and discus and see if
Sebastian Rodriguez of Eunice High
get
School.
anybody over here.
Qualified in the high jump.
And I'll run back down there maybe to the pole vault if they're still pole vaulting.
8 inches.
So 5 feet 8 inches was the jump on the high jump earlier with that youngster that we talked about from Eunice qualifying as an 8th grader.
Oh, Sebastian Rodriguez, they said.
That is correct.
So far, he's been the only one who has qualified this afternoon at this qualifying event here in Eunice.
I don't know. I don't know if any of those long jumper, triple jumpers, I don't know if any of them made it or not.
They didn't say anything. Nobody celebrated either, but I might be corrected here later on.
Yeah, that is very possible.
I can't get much view of the shock put, Mr. Jones, but I can get the javelin out there. Or the.
So Alina Rodriguez with the throw right there. What up, big dog? I got Coop Dog Pearson here. He's got his javelin in his hand. He's ready to step out there in a minute, step out of that comfort zone and sail that javelin all the way. There's Alondra Maureen. We got them all down here hanging out. How are y'all? I'm doing all right.
Sounds so country.
Hello, how are y'all? Good, good. So we've got a few of them up there getting ready to throw. We got Miss Alina Rodriguez. Alina Rodriguez says hello to all the broadcasters. She was going to cross over and go between the legs with that shot put, but it don't have any air in it. So, and then Lizzie Gaetan, she rears back in chunks one deep. All right. So,
like I said, I can barely see you out there, Mr. Jones. The bushes are in the way, so I apologize to the folks who are watching right now.
Be all right. Got a young lady from Tatum about to chunk one out there deep, and she pushed it out there pretty far. All right, so now we got Alina Rodriguez. Alina Rodriguez steps up there, and this ain't no free throw line, but this is a shot put line, and she's up there ready to go. Has that left hand cocked and ready.
Call for the 3,200-meter run.
And she lets it fly, and it goes out there pretty good.
The 3,200-meter run.
They said she bettered her last throw, so let's see what they say it is here. Oh, man, they called her for the scratch. Let's see. It's trying to look. See, it looks to me like they have completed their javelin stuff, just so you know. They've got some folks over there throwing disc. There are some discus folks over there throwing. So I may ease back over into the field after this throw. Man, that was a pretty good throw there. Trying to see who this is. So this will be, I believe that's going to be Gretchen Ball that just threw that one.
From Eunice?
Gretchen Ball, Eunice. I was trying to see if anybody has qualified here. Lizzie Gaetan to throw again. She steps back up there ready to go. So Lizzie Gaetan getting ready to throw the shot put here.
As that's going on, Mr. Jones, we got a few people warming up over here on the pole vault on the boys' side now.
So they do have a better throw there by Gaetan, so we'll see what the numbers are. I'm assuming that red line out there is where they're needing to get to. They've got a red line out there. That was a good-looking throw. That's close. And that is Harley Gandy of Tatum,
Yeah, she's
who
pretty
rears
tall.
back and let that one go.
I can see
That
her
was a
over
big-
the bush.
Yeah. Yeah, she threw that one out there pretty good. So Gandy says she's about an inch away from the state qualifying mark.
An inch away?
An inch away. So she needed about one more inch to have a state qualifying throw.
How many throws does she have left?
I don't know. I heard him say something about finals. So yeah, so So they are going to have some finals throws here. All right, so it looks like we're going to have Gretchen Ball up first to throw. As you heard Coach Boyd yell, "Come on, sunshine." That first throw is thrown downward. She didn't get up underneath it enough, so didn't have a lot of air under it. So now Alina Rodriguez, the senior, the young lady that we've got to talk about so much through the years and multiple sports, steps up there to throw the shot. She let that one go, and it's out there pretty good, and but not out to the state qualifying line. So now Lizzie Gaetan. Gaetan will step in there. She's pumped up and ready. Here comes the throw, or the put from Gaetan. She let it fly out there, and it was a good throw. That one was close to state qualifying. I think it's going to be a couple of inches shy. And this is the young lady from Tatum, Harley Gandy. And that one's going to be a little short of the last one. So with that said, I'm going to make my way back over here into the infield area. See if I can slide down there near the pole vault.
As you're walking over there, Mrs. Jones, you're still warming up over here. I believe there's going to have a Jow and a Tatum participant over there on the pole vault.
I was thinking there was supposed to be 3 of them. And so not sure how many are warming up, but the paperwork says that there'll be 3. So anyway, with that said, I'll jump over here. We'll cover some pole vault action here. We appreciate all the viewers and whatnot listening. And like I said, we're just messing with this on the fly, so kind of practicing and trying to learn as we go.
I know on the shock put out there we had a hard time because of those bushes and trees, so we'll probably have to get those cut down before Friday.
Yeah. Well, I got a chainsaw.
Get that situated. I was able to get some of the shock puts as they went in the air, but I couldn't see the participants throwing it. So
something that we could do, I don't know how well it would look, but we could always set up in this booth over here, and then you could step out the door with your camera.
Yes.
We'd have to have that big cable that we use for the baseball game.
And it's in this box, so it might work out.
Yeah, it's possible. Won't be sunburnt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be sunburned good because I left my hat in the sunglasses. So once again, starting to get all these jumpers over here warming up for the pole vault. And we will see how this goes. Trying to see if they get up and running here. Young man from Jow. Let me pull up my little sheets here. There's the girls' pole vault, the boys. Let's see it. Man, we got a big wind gust coming through right about now.
Don't let it blow you over. You'll be in the bind. There's quite a few people here coming watching this qualifying meet.
What's that?
There's quite a few people up here in the stands watching this meet.
Yeah,
for
being
a qualifying meet.
So you've only got 3 pole vaulters on the list here. It is Isaac Melanson of Eunice, Garrett Anthony of Tatum, and Andre Rodriguez of Jow. Those are the 3 vaulters that are on the list here that says that they're going to pole vault. There's also, okay, no, that's them. That's the 3. So you've got those 3. And, of course, Eunice had a couple of others that would have probably jumped, but due to some injuries and things like that, it'll just be those 3.
Okay. So they're still warming up out there, folks. They're just trying to keep getting their steps down and stretching out them poles to get over that board.
The crazy thing is I walked over this way, and I just heard a bunch of screaming and hollering going on either from the shot put or the disc. So they probably have somebody that did something good over there as I walked away.
They were just waiting for you to walk away. That's what it was.
That's right.
You made him nervous standing there.
That could be. It's funny because they know we're out here. I've got people walking up and asking me, "Are y'all live? Are y'all live?" So.
Yeah, but best as we can be, right?
Yeah. So, anyway, a pretty neat deal here. Once again, we're just trying this. It's kind of a new deal for us, trying to see if we can broadcast some of these track and field events. It should be a little easier once we get to the running event. And so once we get to those, it should be a little simpler. They're definitely allowing plenty of time for this warm-up here in the pole vault.
That they are trying to give enough time to stretch out, I guess, since there's not only 3 of them competing. And like you said, on the running event, it's going to be easier for you, but hard for me trying to follow him with this camera.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out, hopefully after the first race.
Yeah, the things like the mile and stuff like that ought to be pretty easy, but the your events like the 100, the 110 hurdles, even the 200. The 200 will be an interesting one to cover for sure. And so.
But that's why we're doing it today, trying to figure out our kinks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that way we can figure out a better way to cover it on Friday when it's the district meet, when it means the most.
Yeah, and our true camera guy will be back then, so.
That is true. We'll have the thumb. He will be in full effect.
Yep, and I believe we're going to be a little higher as well, so that might give us a better angle at everything.
Yeah. Well, and I think that up there's got a bigger window. So it'll give you a higher angle and a bigger window to hang out of, with that camera. We'll get you a harness so that you can hang out that window.
Now with the way the wind's blowing, I'll be like a piñata out there.
So it looks like all of the participants are now ready. And so they should be getting started. I struggle sitting back just watching and not saying, "Hey, do this to fix this," or whatever.
It's just the coaching you. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is. I watched the young man from Jowl right there, and I mean, this is a young man that's jumping 11 foot. He is underneath, is what they call it, every single time he plants. And that's probably costing him at least a foot in height if he could get his plant up and out front of him instead of behind him every time. It kills a lot of his momentum, but and he's a good jumper. He does a good job. He's just underneath on his plant.
And that's something usually a coach can correct, right?
Yeah, the idea on the pole vault is you're ultimately running down the runway and you're trying to transfer the energy from that run into the pole to take you high into the air. And the more effective you can transfer that energy from your speed into the pole, the higher you end up going. And so if you've got your plan is underneath it, it kills a lot of that momentum and takes a lot of that energy transfer away. And so anyway, if you pole vaulted much, you understand the feeling of almost feeling like your armpits ripped out of socket. And that's usually how it feels when you plant underneath. Rodriguez plants underneath almost every time. If they could adjust that just a little bit, he'd probably improve at least a foot.
That'd be good for him to kind of go stand beside him and tell me that out loud, see if he can hear you, huh?
Yeah. Well, he's over there. He probably could hear me. I don't know, maybe. So it looks like they're getting ready to get started. I'm assuming.
At what height? You don't have an idea? Maybe 9 feet, 10 feet?
I'm listening here. So they are going to start this thing off at 9 foot.
Okay.
And I'm not qualifying height is. Let me ask one of these folks. Somebody over here will know. What's qualifying for boys in the pole vault? Anybody know? 10. So they're going to start off at 9 foot here with Melanson. Qualifying height is 10 foot.
10
So
foot is qualifying.
Yeah. So Melanson on the runway, another one of those 8th graders, as he is on the runway ready to go. They're trying to get those standards. That's one thing that I would tell a council member is we could use new standards for the pole vault. I think we got a superintendent got a little connection pole vault, and his daughter, little Miss Hatch, she's a heck of a little pole vault person. Very, very interested, very knowledgeable about the pole vault. We need some different standards. Our standards are just kind of flimsy, and when it's windy, which it always is around here, it's hard to get them to stand still. And Melanson goes up. He's going to kick that one off.
Kind of didn't get enough speed on that one, did he?
Yeah, kind of chopped his steps at the end. And once again, we talk about that transfer of power. You're ultimately trying to transfer that energy from your run through your plant, and that's what ultimately takes you up high. And there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the easiest way to give you a basic understanding of what a person's trying to do in the pole vault. And so, anyway, Melanson misses his first. He's going to jump right back out there on the runway and try again. So,
I believe we have a race just started, Mr. Jones.
Yeah. I'm assuming that must be a long race.
I think that's a 3,200.
3,200.
I think. I'm not sure. As Melanson kicks the pole again on his second attempt.
I'm trying to find these running events here so that I can get an idea of who this is, what the boys and girls both from Tatum.
Yeah, and they're both from Tatum. I believe it is the 3,200. Yes, it is. I got a thumbs up over here from the booth. It is a 3,200.
All right, so we've got Darby Tucker of Tatum. That'll be the young lady. And then on the other side, it shows that we have two, but all I see is Jason Tucker.
Yes,
so we've got Jason Tucker and Darby Tucker, probably kinfolks, both from Tatum. And we've got them out there. That is the 3,200 meter that's going right now. So anyway, so we've got the boys pole vault still going. We've also got the 3,200 meter. They're running the boys and the girls together here in this 3,200 meter. And it looks like Melanson's going to have one more shot here in the pole vault at 9 foot.
Had to get some camera action for the runners there a little bit. Had a hard time moving it, but we got it. So
yeah.
Melanson's still for you. This is his third attempt, correct?
Yeah, third and final attempt for Melanson at 9 foot. As he's going to plant, once again, the momentum right there at the end, kind of chopped his steps, kills his momentum, kills that energy as he goes into the box. So that'll do it for Melanson. We'll have two competitors remaining. So we are back over here in the 3,200 meter run. In this 3,200 meter run, you got Jason Tucker. He's strolling by in front of us right now. It's kind of got a little pimp limp to his jog, but he's got that pimp limp going as he's out in front of probably his sister, who's about 100 meters behind him, saying, "Wait on me, big brother."
You'll be chasing the whole evening, huh?
Carly Gandy of Tatum High School qualified in the girls' shot put with a distance of 31 feet, 8
right
inches.
after I left, Miss
Congratulations,
Gandy,
Carly.
Tatum High School did qualify, so she must have. Well, I was saying that she missed it by an inch while I was there. After I walked off, she must have had a throw over the qualifying mark. So congratulations to Miss Gandy of Tatum High School on the qualifier in the shot put.
And congratulations to her. Beautiful job qualifying there after Mr. Jones left. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. So who's this bringing up for the pole vault jump over there?
Well, that's going to bring up Garrett Anthony of Tatum, the young man, and I believe they've got the bar at the qualifying height of 10 foot. So Garrett Anthony. And so he's walking back down the runway. Young man's got a nice looking plant. His plant is actually, in my opinion, the best of any of the jumpers that I've watched jump here today. He's got a really good looking plant. And so we will see if he can convert that into some good jumps here.
And he's out there messing with that pole, trying to get his hands down where he needs to put them at?
Yeah, it's just
Kind
a
of
lot of these guys and girls, it's kind of almost like a superstition type thing. See, he's blowing through that pole. He's, he's hitting that on the way up. A lot of momentum into the pole. Got to take in transition to get himself in that upward movement. And so he actually hit that crossbar with the bar with his pole still bent on his way through. I mean, he hadn't even really started the upward turn yet. So a really good-looking plant. Not sure he's transitioning in the swing and the rock back where he needs to get up. But anyway, he misses his first attempt at 10 foot. His best jump of the season is 9.6.
Okay, so once he does it here, he qualifies and sets a personal record, right?
I believe that's correct. I didn't walk up and ask him, but
okay.
That's what my sheet here indicates in front of me. So if I am not mistaken, and I could be, then that is the situation. So I'm assuming that's Mom. She's going to go talk to him a while.
Look like she's showing him a video.
Yeah. She'll give him a few pointers on here's what you're doing.
See if I can get some of this action here from the runners.
Still got that 3,200 meter going on around us. It was a 2 mile, a race I never wanted to run.
I don't think a lot of people want to run that race, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I can assure you that I wasn't one that ever wanted to run it.
You think you'd have been good at it if you would have ran it?
No.
For the boys
He said
girls,
no.
4x100
Yeah.
meter relay.
And he's up and over right there.
Oh, I apologize. I was getting the race.
Oh, that's all right. So Garrett Anthony up and over. So we'll see where they go next as far as height goes, or if they're going to leave it right there. I'm assuming they're going to go up. I'll try to get over here where I can figure out exactly what height they're going to.
Did he clear pretty easily, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, he's up and over fairly easily. No doubt about it.
So that Mom did a little bit of coaching, got him over that.
He got him over.
It's always good to have a parent there to encourage you, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to bring up the JAL player or the JAL participant?
What are we at now, Coach? 10? Okay, so now they're at 10 foot.
Okay.
So this will be foot bar here. So I'm assuming that last jump, I couldn't have been that. So it had to have been 9.6, and now they've went to 10. All right, so we're going to have Jow up first with Andre Rodriguez. Young man's jumped 11 foot this year, and he will step up on the runway ready to go here.
You said he's jumped 11 foot this year?
That is what my notes indicate, that he has an 11-foot jump this year. I've watched Rodriguez a few times, and like I said, he's got a ton of potential. He does a lot of things really good. There's no doubt about it. So Rodriguez back there, ready to go. His coach going to get up and film him. That's something you'll see a lot in the pole vault. And he is up and over easily over 10 foot. So Andre Rodriguez easily clears 10 foot. And once again, 10 foot is the qualifying jump to go to state. Now, he had already cleared that this year. So that is nothing new for him, but he's up and over 10 foot.
Huh. So you're going to try to go a little higher here? He cleared that one pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm assuming that that Garrett Anthony will go next. Yeah, he's over there with his shoes off.
Kind of relaxing too easy, huh?
I guess so, man. I don't know. I see some things today on the track that I never saw when I was a youngster. I guess you got to make sure your feet feel good. You know, you don't want them to hurt.
I guess now it just makes the meet go a little bit longer, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right now we still got that 3,200 race going on. I don't know how many laps are left here.
Neither too many for me to run.
Too many for you to count, you mean?
Maybe I have that too.
Or both of those, huh?
Yeah. So we're in slow motion down here at the pole vault. We're still taking our time and taking it easy here. Waiting on the next jumper. We are at 10 foot here, and so everything looking like we're going to have another one up pretty soon. Still got the 3,200 meter going, and so back on the runway is Rodriguez, and I'm assuming he's just standing there messing with his pole.
That's what it looks like from here, unless you're going to try to run a different way.
Yeah. No.
No, I doubt it. So that's the only field event that's left right now this afternoon, correct? Because everything else seems to be covered up.
All the others are done at this time, so I think that this pole vault is the only thing remaining.
And by the looks of it, it's going to be a long pole vault event.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, yeah, definitely taking their time. We may be done with the track meet before the rest of these folks decide to go pole vault.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe they're going to take a break and resume later. If they are, we may have to skip covering the rest of the pole vault.
We're going to have an intermission between pole vault jumps?
I think they are. I think some of these kids are going to go run. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So that'll do it for the pole vault for a while. I'm now going to stroll over here. So I believe we're ready to get started with the 4x1 relay. So we got a lot of folks out here on the field today, just kind of hanging out, taking it easy, getting ready for the 4x1 relay. And I'll walk over this direction so that I can maybe get a look at who's going to run. On the girls' side in the 4x1, it looks like we've only got Eunice is the only team that's listed on here. And that'll be Maya Brito, Diana Anguiano, McKenna McBee, and Michaela Pierce. So those are the competitors in the 4x1 for the girls. Over on the boys' side, looks like we've got two teams. We've got Tatum High School, Eunice High School. For Tatum High School, you'll have Garrett Anthony, the young man that's over there pole vaulting, Daniel Palacios, Aaron Mariscal, and Anthony Montez. They'll be running the 4x1 for Tatum. For Eunice, Omar Armendariz, Zeke Garcia, Cameron Robledo, and Jesse Ornalis.
And that is it, right, for that race?
Yeah, there's only and it looks like, I'm not sure if they're going to run the boys versus the girls or just the girls and then turn around and run the boys after.
Well, the way they're doing the 3,200, they did the boys and the girls together, so who knows, right?
Yeah, and that is the gun lap in the 3,200. So, of course, you've only got one girl, one boy. Look like some brother-sister love that's competing for the 3,200. So, trying to twist around here and see if I can take a look. So, Darby Tucker and Jason Tucker. We've got a battle of the Tuckers out here on the track in the 3,200. We're liable to have a domestic battery situation here in a second if one of them don't slow down, let the other one catch up a while. They'll be in my courtroom on Monday morning.
That won't be good, right?
Yeah. Anyway, as soon as this race comes to an end, we'll have the 4x1. The 4x1's kind of got us slowed up because we've got competitors in the pole vault that are going to go run the 4x1, so that kind of put us in a halt on that one. There's a big pile of dog manure right here in the middle of the turf, so somebody will need to clean that up, or somebody like me might step in it. You got to be careful.
Thank you very much for that information, Mr. Jones.
You got to be careful when you're out here walking around on the turf.
This guy.
So here comes Tucker down the stretch here. He's going to finish. Have no idea how close he is, what his time is. I'll see if I can hear him. Ooh.
He's struggling to get there.
All right. So that young man finishes, have no idea what his time is. And then about a half a lap behind is Darby Tucker, the female in this race, the only female in this race. So you have one male, one female, Darby Tucker and Jason Tucker, both of Tatum. And Miss Darby Tucker is turning the corner here at the end. And she's going to run down this back stretch here to finish this thing off. So here comes Darby Tucker down the back stretch here, trying to finish this one off. She is going to do it to it. Trying to figure out a good way to hold my papers so that they don't blow all over the microphone. Oh, no, I thought that was the end of it. She's still got a lap to go. So that is the gun lap. One more lap for Miss Tucker.
First call for the 110-meter hurdles. First call for the 110-meter hurdles. Last
I know one thing.
for the
I'll be sunburned.
400-meter relay. Last call for the girls and boys 4 by 100-meter relay.
I'm going to have a sunburnt head here in a minute. I left my hat and my sunglasses up there in the booth.
We got to find somebody to run it to you, right?
Man, right in front of you, you've got
the man, the myth, Gabe.
Is Ben right there? Is Ben? Or
nah, Ben's been running around eating some chili cheese fries. That's what he's been doing.
Oh, I see. I see Gabe and Mal up there. They're up there hanging out. They got gabbers with them. They're up there enjoying the shade while I'm down here with a red burnt forehead. But
you're looking like a lobster tomorrow in court.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I'll be Red Lobster. There's a Jimmy Lover in you. I'll be toasty for sure.
He said Red Lobster. You just dated yourself.
Anyway, just about a half a lap to go in this 3,200 meter, and once again, it's kind of paused everything. I'm not sure why they actually stopped the pole vault with like multiple laps to go in the 3,200, and so that kind of that's one thing about it. If you're running those pole vaults, those events like that start, and they start those running events, as bad as I hate to say it, you got to keep them suckers going, because once you stop and start sending folks everywhere to run races, then you can be here forever. Yep. You get behind, and you'll be behind the rest of the track meet. Even though this is a qualifier, it'll make for a long day. But here comes Darby down the back stretch. She got about 40 meters to go, and she'll be done here.
Last call for the girls and boys 4 by 100.
They're calling for the boys 4 by 1. For boys and girls, 4 by 100 relay. And then after that will be the 110 meter hurdles for boys and the 100 meter hurdles for girls.
First call for the boys and girls 100 meter dash.
And then after that, the 100 meter dash. So they're walking them all out onto the track. Looks like they're going to run these folks at the same time, I'm assuming.
How many got up there? 3 right now?
You know, that's all I see. I saw a Tatum team warming up. In fact, that's what stopped the pole vault. But I don't see them on the track. Now they're going out there. That was the kid that had his shoes off earlier, taking it easy over there during the pole vault. He's now strolling out onto the track. So it looks like we're going to have 3 teams. We'll have 2 boys teams. That'll be Tatum and Eunice. And this is Eunice, what they consider like their B squad. They have, Eunice has 2 relay teams in the 4x1, and the other one is already qualified. So this is that other team that is trying to get qualified here today. So we've got the white flag in the first exchange zone over there with Coach McBee. He's got the white flag in the air. Looks like we've got a white flag in Coach Reed's exchange zone, which is the second. So they have called the runners to their mark. So looking out here, trying to see who this is. And that is Kenna McBee. So Kenna McBee with the first leg for the Lady Cardinals. Trying to stretch and run. They've got her running all by herself. And she's going to hand off to Mariah McGuire. I think that's McGuire, down the back stretch. No, that's Diana Angriano. And so she's going to run down the back stretch and hand off to Michaela Pierce. And Pierce now turns the corner, heading around the curve. And she's going to hand off to the youngster, I believe, which is going to be Amaya Brito. And they hand off to Amaya Brito, and here comes Amaya Brito down the stretch. They're racing the clock. It's all about time here. It's not about who they're beating because there ain't nobody out there with them. But she's running down the background, headed for the line, and she's there.
Who knows about the time, right? They'll let us know in a minute.
I'm waiting. I'm listening.
Makes it hard to run past hard by yourself, doesn't it? Since nobody's chasing you, ain't chasing nobody. Oh, no time.
Haven't heard an official time. I hear them asking, and they're saying they don't know yet. So I guess officially they're going to have to wait on the little tally booth up there with the blue tent to give that time. So right now we'll get ready for the boys in the 4x1. You'll have Tatum and Eunice. Reminder, this is Eunice's B team. This is a bunch of the youngsters trying to make their way to Albuquerque.
And when we say B team, it's mostly 8th graders, right? On this particular event right here?
I don't know. Let me get to the... There's the boys. It's, according to this, it's Omar Armendariz, who's, I think he's a sophomore.
Correct.
Zeke Garcia, Cameron Robledo, and Jesse Ornalis. So they have called the runners to the mark here. And now they've stood them up. Some problems with the timing device. And for those of you that are old schoolers like me out there, they use a timing device that utilizes a laser to measure the speed as they come across this back stretch. So sometimes when they're trying to get that equipment reset, they'll have some problems with it. They'll call everybody to their mark, and then they'll, for whatever reason, the equipment is not functioning properly. So they'll stand them back up and work on that equipment. And then after a few minutes, they'll, once they believe everything's ready, they'll get them going again.
Thank you for that explanation there, Mr. Jones.
Yep. When I ran, it was an old fella standing down here with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and a stopwatch in his hand. They don't do it that way anymore.
He's throwing ashes in your face while you're in the blocks, huh?
That's right. Right. And there was times where you might finish in first place, and the timer that had you would say you ran 44 seconds or whatever, and the guy that finished in second finished with a 43.9, and you're like,
how is that possible?
You mean that guy beat me, but I beat him coming across the line? Yeah, it was a little different back in those days. Now it's done with a computerized system with a laser across the finish line. And so times have changed.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah. That's all. A few years ago, I was researching a bunch of the Eunice track and field records. And as I was looking through those, you know, there's some folks that had like what would definitely be a record in the 100. And when we got to doing some research, it was the old school 100, the old 100-yard dash. It wasn't 100 meters, which is slightly different. You know, things change through time for sure.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, still having some problems with the timing equipment here. I believe they had problems with it at the last track meet too. I heard them talking about that.
Should we go back to the pole vault?
I think your pole vaulters are probably got their shoes off and getting fed some ice cold jelly beans or something. Yeah. So they're probably not doing anything right now, but taking it easy.
Taking it easy.
Take it easy.
Well,
we've got Mr. Hatch as the gunman today. He's the lone gunman out there wearing a hoodie. He's definitely not going to have a sunburned head like mine's going to be sunburned because he was smart enough to wear a hoodie.
I have to call a timeout here and you have to come up and get it, or I can find somebody to take it to you.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know if there's going to be any timeouts.
I'll have Guy Tan take it to you. See how much how much he really likes you.
Oh, he don't like me. He's like, burn that head. Get that head burnt. He's like, your head will be fine. You're tough.
He said, you know, he comes to Guy Tan goes, yeah, I know you ain't talking to me. He forgot his hat and his glasses. He needs them.
Tell him I thought for sure Ben would be up there. And Ben, he's always looking for a reason to run.
He said, Ben's not around here. He's at the concession stand. As soon as he gets back, he'll run it to you.
He's probably over there with those pole vaulters with his shoes off, eating some jelly beans or something.
Probably. But Ben said you have to give him some Reese's Pieces after this.
That's right. Right. Hey, I see him. He's back. He's probably got him a nacho, a chili cheese fry.
Yeah, he's picking up his trash. He was eating some chili cheese fries.
Anyway, we are still, it looks like, having some technical difficulties. They're saying now they're good. So here we go.
Make sure my cameraman's
runners
ready.
They've got them down. They've got them ready. Eunice versus Tatum. It's a battle of reds. North Lee County, South Lee County. It's the Eunice B squad, the youngsters, versus the Tatum A squad. And here they come down the first leg. Paperwork here shows, I believe it's either going to be Zeke Garcia or Jesse Ornelas. He's going to hand off down that back stretch. The Tatum young man is catching him down the back stretch. They're going to have to show some speed here in the corner because in that corner, Tatum's got the inside edge. It's going to be close. They are neck and neck like a couple of horses at the Belmont. As they come down the back stretch, they're going to hand off. It's Omar Armendariz. He's got a slight lead. The young man from Tatum trying to catch him in closing distance. Omar Armendariz versus the wind. He's trying to finish. Tatum's going to pass him and stretch for the line. And Tatum going to edge out Eunice at the line.
What a beautiful race on both teams there, man. Hopefully they both qualified. That was fast.
Yeah, definitely an impressive race there. When you've only got two teams running, if you can have them that close, it gives you something to get excited about anyway.
Yes, sir, it does. We have a special delivery coming at you right now.
Oh, yeah.
50 yards away from you.
I see it. My man Ben is taking care of me. I like it, Ben. You the man? Oh, yeah. You are the man, Ben. I love you. Ben Gayton brought me my hat so that my head won't be as red as I thought it was going to be, and my sunglasses. He brought them both to me, so I'm in business now. So anyway, the Cardinals get run down there on that stretch, but a good race anyway.
Yeah, it was a good race there for the boys. On both sides. And you said Tatum pulled it out at the end?
Tatum did pull that out at the end. It was a close one.
And once again, it's a qualifying race.
Yeah, they're trying to beat times. I mean, that's the thing about it that everybody's got to understand. They're running for times here.
Now, Friday's going to be a whole different event, right? It'll be a track event, but it'll be a traditional track event where people get medals and points per team.
Yes, that is correct. So, trying to get my my hurdles paperwork here, and that wind just continues to pick up. If I can.
I'm going to have to figure out where to get here for this event since it's so close to the stands.
Okay, so they're going to, sounds like they're having boys and putting them in lanes 3 and 4. I'm confused. Let's see what we got here. All right, so on the girls' side, it shows that we have, that's the 100-meter dash. So, anyway, we got it going. So a lot of folks gathering up here. Looks like we might not have any 100-meter hurdle girls going, so it may just be boys in the hurdles. And it looks like we've got 3 competitors going to be in the hurdles. That is going to be Giancarlo Marquez, the man, the myth, the legend. Shout out to Omar and Lizette. Adam Juarez, our broadcast partner from Jal, New Mexico, and, of course, Kenny Parks of Eunice, going to show us what he's made of here in the 110-meter hurdle. So should be an interesting race here with Giancarlo, Adam, and Kenny. Going to sprint down the stretch, and we'll see who pulls this one off for sure. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Jones, I believe they only have 2 sets of hurdles set up for boys here.
They are only putting up 2 sets. So let's see who's – looks like they've got Adam and maybe Giancarlo. Yep. That is. The only 2 people that are out there is Adam and Giancarlo. So I'm assuming the young man, Mr. Kenny Parks, will not run today. So it looks like we're going to have a two-horse race here. This is kind of like those horse races that happen between Eunice and Hobbs out there on the side of the road. They take you out there and just have you line up in the dirt and race each other. That's what's about to happen right here. We got them both out there. All we need is, a few 4-wheel drive pickups, a 4-wheeler, a couple guys on horses, and we'd have it going on.
And some loud music, right?
Yeah, and I'll leave it at that.
I will as well.
So we've got Adam Juarez and Giancarlo GC going to see if he can show us something here on the track today. After this, we'll have the 100-meter dash. And so there's the man, the myth, the legend. That's a Woods right there. We've got a Woods sighting. He's getting them legs warmed up for the 100. And so now they've added 2 more rows of hurdles, trying to see if I'm assuming they're going to line up 4 rows of hurdles and run them in the 2 middle. That keeps you, what I've seen people do, sometimes if they only put like 2 hurdles and you only got 2 hurdlers running, if you're smart, you'll kick over the outside edge of the hurdle, then you don't have to go completely over the hurdle. So by lining them up, they force you to have to go all the way over it.
There you go.
I never did that, of course, when I was young. I never did that, but
you read
I've
it in the
heard
book,
that
right? You read it in the book?
I've heard that could happen sometimes.
I just can't figure out the right angle to get this racing since it's so close to the window.
Yeah, I got a feeling you're going to have to
kind of lean over, yes, as much as I can.
Yeah, we'll get you a harness where you can hang out the window and broadcast from up there. You'll be looking good. So Giancarlo and Adam. It's a battle of Eunice and Jal with GC and our man Adam Juarez getting ready to hit the track here. It's a hot day.
Yeah, it's
down here. the only thing kind of halfway keeping the temperature down a little bit.
At least you got your hat now, right?
Oh, man, at least my head won't be as red as it was going to be. So here we go. They're calling the runners to their mark. Both of them standing up, doing some calisthenics. They're kicking up their toes and whatnot. Look like they're doing a Jane Fonda workout down on a Thursday afternoon at the community center.
To Jane Fonda.
Now they call them to their mark again.
Is she still alive?
Giancarlo's bouncing. He's got a little bounce in his step. Adam Waters says, let me show you something, as he's ready to go. Adam Waters, GC Marquez. Here they come to the first hurdle. It's GC and Adam. They're shoulder to shoulder. It's the senior versus the youngster. GC shoulder to shoulder with our broadcast partner, Adam. They're both tired. The wind is catching on to them right here. Adam's going to stretch out and slowly get ahead. GC's battling, trying to get back, and Adam Waters is going to finish. Slightly behind him is GC Giancarlo.
100-meter dash. Last call for the girls.
And once again, they're racing for qualifying time. They're not racing each other here tonight.
For the girls, 800-meter run.
And so looking, I believe next up will be the 100-meter for everybody. And I've never quite figured it out, but every track meet I've ever been to has a whole bunch of 100-meter record or 100-meter runners, boys and girls, always.
That's the best race to race in, man.
It's the shortest one.
Yeah, that's why you want to compete in that one.
So as far as the list here goes, the list shows for Jal, they'll have Camila Baeza. Tatum will have Sydney Rice and Aubrey Young. For Eunice in this race, we'll have Amaya Brito, Mariah McGuire, and Yersly Armendariz. Yadi Armendariz. So it looks like they're going to run all of these, I'm assuming, in one heat.
They're all girls, correct?
Yes. It'll all be girls the first heat. Once again, according to my notes here, we'll have Jal in lane 2, that is Baeza. Eunice is Brito, the 8th grader, in lane 3. Sydney Rice, a long-time Tatum name that's been doing big things in Tatum sports for several years, in lane 4. Aubrey Young, another one of those names we've heard for years from Tatum, in lane 5. Mariah McGuire, the senior from Eunice, in lane 6. And Yadi Armendariz in lane 7. So, all of them are getting called down, lining up, just waiting on Mr. Hatch to call them to their marks. So we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Waters. He's over here. We'll have to give him a shout-out as soon as this race over. Let him tell us how he thinks he did, if he pulled any hammies, if he broke any records, any of that kind of stuff. And so here we go. They're just waiting on the equipment and waiting on the thumbs up, and as soon as they have it, we should have our 100-meter dash for the girls. We're waiting.
Hurry up and wait, right, for a race.
That's what we do.
It's going to last about 10 seconds.
There we go. He's going to call them to their marks. So all the runners will do their last second bouncing around, and then they'll stick their feet on the blocks. And there we go. There's the gun. Right in the center. I believe that's going to be Sydney Rice. She looks like she's out in front of everybody. The youngster. That is Baeza that's right there. No, that's going to be the youngster Brito.
Coming up in second place there.
Yeah, so Amaya Brito into the second place spot, slightly behind Sydney Rice. Not sure what the times are there, but definitely a pretty competitive race. Not sure what the finishing times were.
They'll let us know here in a minute. You'll go, Mr. Juarez, interview him real quick.
I'll go harass Adam Waters. We'll see what Adam's got there. So, Adam, you pulled off the win there in the two-man race.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel like a racehorse between Eunice and Hobbs on a Sunday afternoon there?
A little bit.
It's just you and him,
Yeah.
Eunice versus Jow, battle of bragging rights.
A little bit of friendly competition.
That's right.
I seen him coming next to me. I was like, oh, I got to go now.
Yeah.
I can't let you.
Well, you can't do it if you're and if you're from Eunice, you got the other side. You can't let Jow beat you, but you were able to edge him and dig down deep and show him a little senior heart and finish it off.
Yeah, I was pushing almost a little bit too hard.
There you go. Well, we're proud of you, Adam. Way to run.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Yes, sir. All right. So we're waiting on the men's, the boys, 100-meter dash now as well.
He's out of breath there, right? You could barely speak for a second.
Yes, he was breathing hard. That's for sure. So it looks like we're getting ready to get started with the 100-meter dash for the boys. And so let me jump over here and see who we've got on this list. It looks like we've got Ben Olivares, the 8th grader, Jose Valenzuela from Jow, Elijah Melanson, an 8th grader from Eunice, Hyan Castro from Eunice, Elgin Woods of Eunice, Josh Harris of Tatum, and Lucas Lopez. So multiple 8th graders in this race for the Cardinals. And the runners are being called to their marks. I always get a kick, and I did the same thing, but how when they say runners to your mark, everybody bounces around a while. They start jumping.
Trying to get that little nervousness out, right?
That's right. So lining up, here we go, waiting on the gun. And there is the gun, and here they come. I see Woods out there. He's slightly ahead. Now pulling ahead on the inside. You've got the young man from Jow. I believe that's Jose Valenzuela who's going to get the win. And I think second is going to be close between Melanson, Elijah Melanson, and Elton Woods.
There's a lot of red in that race.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some athletes in that race for sure. So Jow in first, couple of Cardinals in second, third. Some folks that were moving in that race.
For the 400-meter dash, girls and boys.
So now we're getting set up to run the hurdles, correct? The 200-yard hurdles?
No. Now we'll have the and once again, this thing is moving way fast. I think next is going to be the 800-meter.
Okay.
I believe it'll be the 800 next. Looks like on the girls' side, there are two competitors. That's Drennan Young and Evie Hernandez. Drennan Young of Tatum, Evie Hernandez of Eunice. And those may be the only 800-meter runners. Is I don't see any boys 800-meter runners, and I don't blame them.
I guess you don't like the long distance running, do you, Mr. Jones?
You know, it's funny because when I was young, they used to stick me in all that stuff just because I was the only one that'd get out there and run hard at it. But I didn't ever like it. I don't think I've ever said, "Hey, coach, can you put me in that 2 mile?" David Nicely used to say that, but not me.
David Nicely was normal.
He'd say, "Coach, can I run that 2 mile?" Absolutely, you can. You get out there and get after it.
Oh, David.
So looks like, once again, we're going to have two competitors. Young lady from Eunice, young lady from Tatum, Drennan Young of Tatum, Hernandez from Eunice. This will be a two-man race, two-woman race, I guess. And here they go. You'll be looking at 2 laps here as the young lady from Tatum takes off out of there like a Russian racehorse. She looks like she's ready to go.
She ain't jacking around, huh?
No. She's like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going to go ahead and run really fast right here and put the smack down on some people. Yep, she's got her pacers lined up around the track. They're telling her, you need to run here, there you go. Keep on moving. Keep on moving, don't stop now.
That was brought to you by Jimmy Jones.
So 2 laps. The 800-meter is 2 laps. They are on the first lap, and coming down the back stretch is Drennan Young. She's got about 300 meters under her belt. Got about 5 to go.
She kind of slowed down a little bit here, but she still got the good pace.
She's definitely going. See if I can hear some lap times here. 1:15. So a 1:15 lap time right there. Not a bad lap time. That's a pretty good quarter time for an 800 meter.
That's better than mine in your lap.
Well, they're definitely better than mine today. Yeah, I just think my head's red because of the sun. If I tried to do that right there, I'd be red because I had a heart attack.
And ain't nobody going to help you on the field.
No. No. In fact, they probably tell me to get off the field. The infield is for competitors and coaches only.
Last call for the 4x200.
The next event will be the 4x2 relay.
For the 400-meter dash.
And they are calling for those folks. And after that, we'll have the 400-meter dash. They still hadn't finished the pole vault.
I'm telling you, we're going to finish that tonight at 9 o'clock at night.
And once you get into these races, when you let them stop and start taking off, especially when they're going early, you're going to be here a while. So here comes Drennan Young down the stretch. She's stretching it out, trying to finish. See if I can get up here where I can hear a time. Everybody's screaming. It's going to be hard. All right. Didn't hear the numbers there, so we'll see what they come across with. Coming into her last 100 meters is Evie Hernandez from Eunice as she makes the turn down the back stretch. Coming down that back stretch is Hernandez, the second competitor of 2 in this race. So Evie's going to sprint down there and finish. As she finishes it up, that's Evie Hernandez for Eunice, finishing in that second spot. So next, we will have the 4x2 relays. What up, big dog? How you doing? Good. Good. Yeah, so we'll have the 4x2 relays. We've got on the boys' side, we'll have Jal and Tatum. On the girls' side, I don't see any girls 4x2 relays, so I'm assuming that means there won't be any today. Once again, for those of you at home listening, this is a qualifier track meet. It's not a full track meet. We're just using it as a little practice to see what we can do better for the district meet here in a few days.
And we can do a lot better on the camera, I'm thinking here. There's little spots I kind of couldn't get, but that's practicing.
For Jal in this race, it appears it's going to be Jose Valenzuela, David Gaitan, Davian Navarrete, Daniel Ornales. They've got Andrea Rodriguez down here as an alternate.
There will be a 10-minute break.
There will be a 10-minute break.
And now they're going to take a break.
After the race or before the race?
The girls were, I guess they're going to do it before as the teams are strolling off. So, with that said, I'm going to stroll up to the booth and take it easy on that air conditioning for just a minute. I'll be up there in a few.
All right, folks, there you go. We're taking a 10-minute break here at this Eunice qualifying track meet as Tatum and Zhao and Eunice competitors are competing here to qualify for state. So far, I know we have one that's qualified for one boy for the high jump over here. Sebastian Rodriguez, I believe that's his name. Is it Rodriguez? His last name is Rodriguez, but we're not sure. We're going to send it back to our station here for some commercials.
BTH Services and Rentals LLC is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. They wish all the young athletes an incredible basketball season and send a special shout out to the class of 2025 seniors. Congratulations on this milestone. Go Big Red. BTH Services and Rentals, proud supporters of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Bart Parker, owner of Redbird LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of the Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids in their academics and athletics. And they realize balancing both is challenging, and they appreciate the Cardinals' determination. Redbird knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they're cheering them on all the way. Supporting the Eunice Cardinals, Redbird LP Gas Company. The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards! Eunice Public Schools empower students to soar by providing exceptional educational experiences in a safe and nurturing environment. The entire Eunice community comes together to champion sports and academics, fostering a spirit of collaboration and friendly competition. Eunice is a vibrant small town with a strong sense of community and academic excellence where everyone thrives. Eunice Public Schools, prioritizing student success, cultivating meaningful relationships, and striving for academic excellence to transform lives and unlock limitless potential.
Guns Up Services is a proud supporter of their Eunice community and their Eunice Cardinals. Guns Up Services has been in business almost 14 years and is family owned and operated, located at 2105 Avenue O in Eunice. They're your trusted vacuum truck, winch truck, frac tanks, rental equipment, and dirt work provider. Guns Up Services in Eunice wants to cheer on number 9 Elijah and number 15 Maddox, wishing them good luck this sports season. Guns Up Services, another proud supporter of all Lee County athletics. Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006, delivers exceptional transport, pump truck, vacuum truck, and disposal services. Their commitment extends beyond business to supporting Lee County sports and academics. Parker Energy wants to empower young adults to succeed in sports, scholastics, and personal growth. Parker Energy, located at 2350 Avenue O in Eunice, proudly backs Lee County athletics.
NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Redbird Garage is your hometown local mechanic shop specializing in minor and major repairs from oil changes, car washes, brake work, AC repair, and so much more. For more information, call 575-394-8828. Call 575-394-8828. Redbird Garage, 1800 North Main Street is your hometown mechanic shop, committed to always doing what's right for you and your vehicle. Redbird Garage is a proud supporter of Lee County athletics and academics.
Did you know that Cardinal Hardware isn't just your ordinary hardware store? They're your one-stop destination for all your hardware needs. As the sole hardware store in town, they take pride in being locally owned and operated, serving the community with dedication and care. Cardinal Hardware is fully stocked with all the essentials you need, ensuring you can find everything you're looking for right in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
Eunice is a beacon of community spirit where everyone knows your name and looks out for one another. It's an idyllic haven to raise a family with top-notch schools, a vibrant community, and thrives on sports and academics, and has an unbeatable low cost of living. Want to tap into the heartbeat of Eunice? Google cityofunis.org to unlock a treasure trove of community events, business listings, city maps, and so much more. Experience the magic of small-town living where everyone is welcomed with open arms.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Eunice Wrecker and Rental offers professional and reliable 24-hour roadside services in Lee County. Light to medium duty towing and recovery, fuel delivery, jump starts, lockouts, and tire changes. Eunice Wrecker will also haul off those unwanted vehicles to clean up your property. Eunice Wrecker, over 20 years of experience and fully licensed and insured. Call Eunice Wrecker 575-394-HOOK, 394-4665. Eunice Wrecker and Rental currently hiring Class A CDL and regular drivers for the wrecking yard. Eunice Wrecker, 44 North New Mexico Highway 248, Eunice, New Mexico, MM1.
BTH Services and Rentals, LLC is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. They wish all the young athletes an incredible basketball season and send a special shout out to the class of 2025 seniors. Congratulations on this milestone. Go Big Red! BTH Services and Rentals, proud supporters of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Bart Parker, owner of Redbird LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of the Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids in their academics and athletics. And they realize balancing both is challenging, and they appreciate the Cardinals' determination. Redbird knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they're cheering them on all the way. Supporting the Eunice Cardinals, Redbird LP Gas Company.
All right, I'm up here in the booth here with Rosendo. Looks like we're going to have one team in this 4x2 relay. This is the girls 4x200 meter relay. Once again, we're just trying this out. This is something new that we just kind of come up with. Rosendo, actually, it was his idea back during basketball season. Hey, it'd be kind of cool to do some track and field events and get some of these kids some coverage. And so that's why we're here. Today is this qualifier track meet. It's not a full track meet. And here in the 4x2, the 800 meter relay, also known as, we've got the girls. This will be the Eunice Lady Cardinal girls. They will be the only competitor in this relay. And there goes the first. I believe that's going to be Kenna McBee, but I'm not 100% certain. Trying to listen for some of these folks in the audience scream and go whoever.
I'm trying to move cameras steady as I can.
Last call for the
But some of these kids are kind of fast, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. A lot of times if you'll zoom it out as far as it'll go, then you don't have to move it as fast. It makes it a little easier. It don't see as good, but we had a kind of a missed exchange there. They did finally get the handoff. I believe this is going to be Diana Anguiano.
1600 medley
I
relay.
think that's who that is. I'm not 100% certain because we're up here way in a booth.
Yeah, I think somebody say Diana.
Yep.
in the stands.
So Diana Anguiano, she's going to hand off right here. This is going to be Michaela Pierce. So a much better handoff there to Pierce. So here comes Pierce. She's going to push it around the corner. Each runner here runs a 200 meters, so basically a curve and a straightaway. So she takes that first curve, and now she enters the straightaway. And I think by looking over there, I think that's going to be the 8th grader, Amaya Brito, running that last leg for the Lady Cardinals. Michaela Pierce in the wind right there. That wind is blowing. And right here comes Burrito. She's going to hit that wind in the curve about right there. It's going to go right into her face. And if she can fight through that and get over here in front of the bleachers, she will have a lot less wind. Once again, we're just kind of practicing this, but here comes Amaya Brito down the back stretch. She's trying to finish. They're racing against the clock here as they are trying to qualify and move themselves on to Albuquerque, and she's going to cross the finish line there. And we haven't been able to get a lot of these times as they come across. That's going to be one thing that'll be a problem for us. It's a qualifier meet, trying to watch for those times. Even when I got down there by the finish line, the times are up here in this little tent. They're not down there, and they're done with a system that uses a laser. So even those folks that are down there using their thumb, a lot of times don't know whether they were there or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of difficult right now. But like you said, we're trying to figure everything, the small stuff out. We can also come back out further. We can figure out what the qualifying times are, what the qualifying heights are, the qualifying distance are as well for high jump, pole vault, and all the other good stuff.
Yeah. So
that's going to be a district meet, correct?
Yes, this is a district meet on Friday. Friday will be a district meet. A lot of these youngsters are still needing those qualifying marks or trying to get some extra practices in. That's why they bring them to these qualifier meets. Most of the time, as is today, in these qualifier meets, they a lot of times don't give ribbons. There's no point count for totals. It's just a meet to give these competitors a chance to be able to compete, to give them an opportunity to make it to state. And that's the ultimate goal here, is just to let them improve and have that opportunity. And for us, we just decided it would be neat to get to broadcast these kids, because these kids, there's several of them out here that just run track. They don't do anything else, and if we don't get them some coverage, nobody does, and a lot of folks don't get to know and watch. A lot of grandparents of these kids, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters that live over in other communities, and so just trying to give everybody an opportunity to see some of these youngsters in action. So this is the boys' heat of the 4x2. Looks like they're going to have Tatum and Jow. Both teams out there ready to go. Waiting on Mr. Hatch to call them to their marks as the white flag is in the air down there in the exchange zone.
You feel a lot cooler in there?
Man, it's hot out there. You know, anytime you're down there on that track and that turf, it's about 10 degrees warmer down there than it is away from it. It just kind of acts as a...
And you walked quite a bit, man. You got your steps in for the day.
Yeah, I got some steps in. And I left my hat and my sunglasses when it first started. It was like you and I were up here and everything was going smooth, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, they're going. And so I jumped up and took off running. There we go. They're going to call the runners to their marks right there. So I believe that is going to be Garrett Anthony starting off for Tatum. For Jow, I'm not 100% certain. The order here shows Jose Valenzuela, but a lot of these have been out of order. And I'm almost certain this is David Gaetan over here, and they've got him showing on the sheet as second. So I don't think that's necessarily correct. So we've got Jow and Tatum racing around the first corner and coming into that first straightaway. Jow and Tatum down the back stretch. Jow was ahead, but here comes Tatum, and now Jow says, uh-oh, wait, let me speed it up a little bit. That young man for Jow, or for Tatum, I'm sorry, he's still got to go pole vault in a minute as that crossbar is waiting on him. And Jow going to open it up right here.
Yeah, the handoff, huh?
Yeah. It's a good-looking handoff and a first 100 meters for Jow. Trying to see if I can see who that is on my sheet. And I can't, but, man, he's moving. So a good second leg for the Jow Panthers, opening up that lead. And here they go. They're going to hand off into their third leg and head into that first curve. 2 more straightaways and 1 more curve to go. Jow opening up the lead. Tatum trying to claw back in as they've got the Coyotes chasing the Panthers here. It's dogs and cats down the back stretch. And they're going to hand off to their last leg. He's got a curve and a straightaway to finish. Tatum finishes their last exchange as well. Jow with about a 50-meter lead here coming down the back stretch.
He's closing it pretty good, that Tatum player is.
He's definitely closing some distance. Coming to the finish line, it's Jow all by themselves as they cruise, trying to race the clock here for a trip to Albuquerque. The young man from Tatum that closed was moving for sure.
Yes, he was. So hopefully they got a decent time so they both can qualify here.
Yep.
For their sakes, for their teams. They get all these cables untangled as I spin round and round.
So looking here at this paperwork, it looks like coming up next we'll have the girls' 400-meter dash. That is 1 lap for those folks that are meter challenged at home.
And it's not a dash in my point of view.
Yeah, it's definitely
not a dash.
Yeah, it's some kind of something, but I don't know if it's a dash for me either.
100-yard dash, 200-yard dash, that's fine, but
I always, when I was young, the 400 was the race that I avoided like the plague. It was like I really did not want to run that
Coach
race.
Coach Lynn, I don't want to run today. I feel sick.
And I never told him that. No, I guarantee
He wouldn't accept that.
No, that wouldn't have been
Jones,
acceptable.
Go to the bus.
But I made sure that my time wasn't good enough that they wanted me to run the 400-meter dash.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it probably is, but I didn't want him to ask me.
He's not encouraged that young man and
yes.
women. Always do your best in your hardest.
The 400 was just, it is about the longest of the sprints. And so it's just not a fun race to me.
You got to be a thoroughbred to get that one done, huh?
Yes, very, very tough race. I give all kinds of credit to the men and women that get out there and run the 400-meter. Not a fun race at all for me. I've heard of people saying, oh, that's my favorite race. And I'm like, yeah, you probably sat in the bleachers because
you're a spectator.
That's right. Yeah, that may be fun for you sitting up there with a chili dog and a large Dr. Pepper in your hand.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
That's right. But for those folks down there running, I never liked the 400. I couldn't stand it. It's about as tough as it gets. Yeah, they'd be like, hey, we're going to put you in the 4x4 relay. All right, well, I'm going to run about a 65 where you're never going to ask me to run that again.
You're like, hey, Jones, you run faster. No, not today, sir.
Disclaimer, I never told my kids to do that. Right, Chloe? Yeah, if you run about a 60 or 70,
that's the best advice you've ever given to any
then they
kid.
Don't ask you to run that race
Best
anymore.
advice you've ever given to any kid, adult, senior citizen.
Yeah, that is true.
That son has affected you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the 400 meter is a tough one. It's a great race, but it is a tough race. And I tell you. You go over there and you watch those kids at the junior college run it. Oh, my gosh, they've got some gazelles over there. I mean, just absolute craziness the times that they run in, like the 400, the 800. They even run the 600 at the college level. And, man, they've got some folks that can just flat out sprint the whole thing.
Because they love the running.
Oh, man, like speeds that are faster than I ever ran 100 meter, they're running that for 600 meters. And you're like, how do you do it?
They're bred for it, right?
Yeah. So they called everybody to their marks, and they had some technical difficulties.
Moving right along here.
Yeah.
Even with that 10-minute break.
Yeah, so I had Mr. Bob Klaus ask me if you could have more than 3 entries in any single event at the state track meet. And I remember that at some point being the case. And so I think you are right, Mr. Klaus, but I'll be honest with you, I don't keep up with all the rules and requirements like I used to, so I'm not 100% certain, but that does sound accurate.
That includes field and running, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think each school can only have 3 competitors in each event, but you know, they change a lot of these rules from year to year, and so sometimes it's hard to say if that's still the same. It was that way at one time.
He's asked his runners to get to the mark 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
but he's
he
still
is.
having difficulties.
Yeah. He's got like a little voice box sound thing that he holds in his hand, almost like a walkie-talkie.
Okay.
And it works with this computer up here in the blue tent.
So when the gun goes off, it picks it up?
It picks it up, and it also, when he yells runners to the mark, or runners take your mark, or whatever the term is, it also like sets that system to prepare it for the POW.
Oh.
And so he knows when he says runners to your mark, if the system's picking him up and if it's ready.
So he's probably having difficulties with the wind right there in that corner.
Yeah, so every time he's saying it, it's there's that, is it picking me up or not? So
that'd be hard on the runner because you're down and ready mentally.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you got to reset.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's got the gun in the air now, though. So we'll see if we go this time. This is the 400 meter. And we've got Yadi Armendariz and Camilla Baeza from JAL. So this will be Eunice versus JAL. And so if they keep that pace up right there, this will be a great time for both of them. They're both moving. I mean, those are good paces down the back stretch, as it's Eunice and JAL. Baeza, I believe, is the young lady that was down there high jumping earlier.
Yes, sir.
And so she's trying to stretch ahead here as they come to the 200 meter mark. About 200 meters to go here in this 400 meter race. Camila trying to extend it and outrun Eunice down the back stretch. Here they come. Baeza with a big lead. Armendariz trying to close the distance. Both runners looking a little tired as this backstretch is a killer after you've run into that wind over in that corner. And Baeza finishes ahead, and coming in next will be Armendariz for Eunice. So JAL's Camila Baeza finishes first in this 2-person race. Once again, this is not a normal track meet. For any of you that might have tuned in late, this is just a qualifier meet. So there are some events that no team even had anybody that they were trying to qualify in.
Yes.
So they don't even run those events. They just skip them and keep on moving.
Now it's the boys' turn to run the 400 dash.
All right, so getting ready to run the 400 meter dash is for Eunice Sean Ruiz, Wade Williams, Tyson Coy, Elgin Woods, and Braden Blevins.
So
all
it's just
from
all
Eunice.
It's a Eunice race, huh?
Yeah. And looking out there, there's only a couple of the upperclassmen, Tyson Coy and Elgin Woods, may be the only folks using blocks.
Huh. That's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, it's just a
preference, right?
Yeah, it's usually a educational type of thing. Usually after somebody works with you a while, you figure out, I need to use blocks. I mean, the blocks are definitely quicker. There's no doubt about it. There's a reason why all of your college and
yeah,
professional athletes are coming out of blocks, but it does take some teaching and some instruction to teach kids how to.
Is this Coy's first time to run track?
This year is his first year. He's only competed in a couple of track meets, and he's done really, really well. He's fast. I mean, you see it on the baseball field. So they've got the gun in the air and the runners to the mark. Elgin Woods and Tyson Coy both have run 55 this year. So very similar times for those two upperclassmen, both seniors, in lanes number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There goes the gun. Woods jumps out early. Coy trying to close that stagger.
Final call.
If he can close that stagger right here down the back stretch, it's going to give him the advantage because he's going to have the inside of the turn once he gets down there to the pole vault pits. See, he's closed that gap right there, and this will give him the ability to run a little easier against the wind on the inside where Woods is on the outside, and he's got farther to run, so that's going to give Coy the advantage coming down the back stretch. Coy extending the lead. Woods trying to close. Woods turning it on now, but Coy continuing to gallop like one of Matt's horses as he heads down the stretch. Both of them starting to run into the wall. Looking down the line, it looks like you've got, trying to see who that was, maybe Sean Ruiz.
Yes, Sean Ruiz was third.
And then Wade Williams. And then finishing up will be Braden Blevins as the Cardinals go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in that race.
Eunice Cardinals dominated that race, right?
Yep. So the Cardinals take all 5 of the spots.
Yeah.
Only 5 of them ran, but
oh, I mean that's all 5 qualified.
They fill the podium if there was one.
Does that young man out there get stretching out again or what?
Yeah, they're doing like a whole new warm up. I'm telling you, I get it. I mean, they want them to do as well as they can, but they're going to be out there all day doing it the way they're doing it. Yeah. I was watching them a while ago. Some of them taking their shoes off between jumps and whatnot. I've never seen that before, ever, ever. And I've went to pole vault, competitions all over the country. Never seen what it's. And like I said, I get it. It's a qualifier meet. The goal here is to get qualified. But, man, we're going to be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going to be there for a while.
I guess we're going to do hurdles now?
Yeah, next event is the 300-meter hurdles. It looks like there's no girls entered in here, so this will be an all-boys event. Giancarlo Marquez, Adam Juarez of Jow, Isaac Melanson of Eunice, Ben Oliveras of Eunice, and Kenny Parks of Eunice.
So total of 4?
Isaac Melanson has the best time so far of these individuals coming in, so he'll be in the middle. He'll be in lane 4.
If that wind would die down, man, it wouldn't be too bad of a day out there.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, if you weren't out there trying to broadcast, you'd probably be happy for that wind because that wind is the only cool thing about what's happening out there.
Thing, huh?
It's hot out there on that track. It's nice in here. That's why I hadn't walked back down there yet. I'm like, okay, I may stay up here for the remainder of this thing.
I think there's only 2 events of this or 3?
Not much. There's not much left, and like I said, they hadn't even started the pole vault again yet. They're down there doing calisthenics and eating fruit roll-ups and
eating oranges, right?
I mean, it's getting massages. Might have a massage table over there.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
This day and age, I wouldn't doubt it. Back there in the concession stand area.
Yep.
So once again, this is a qualifying meet, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a traditional track meet. That would be Friday. That would be the district meet Friday. It starts at 3:30 again, Mr. Jones?
Yep.
And that's going to be a little longer than this one, so it's going to be a lot more chit-chatting on the air.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, this is an interesting deal. We're just trying this out to see if it was something that we, might be able to do. I've had 24 people walk up to me down on the track, up in the bleachers as I was coming this way, saying thank you. My kids' grandparents will be able to watch them compete. They live in Lubbock or whatever, and usually don't get to see them. So we're going to try this. Like I said, I don't know that it'll. I know it's not going to be great. You need a multiple camera system for it to be great, like a down there camera that you can get up a little better shot.
Put one at the finish line.
Yeah, but I think it'll be, I think it'll be worth watching.
Yes.
I mean, if I was a parent or grandparent, aunt, uncle, friend, whatever.
Watching this and watching not compete, I might as well watch this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, we live in an area dominated by folks who work in the oil and gas industry, and a lot of them don't know if they're going to be able to make it at 3 o'clock to an event. And so by doing this, some of those moms and dads that are stuck out on location might be able to tune in and catch some of what their kid's doing there.
Or watch it the next day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So as we're getting set up over there, I believe that's the boys.
It's the 300-meter hurdles. And so.
Yeah, they finally got them all set up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still doing warm-ups down there for the restart of the pole vault. You see what I mean with the young man from every time his plan, if I was a JAL coach or if his family's listening, every time he plants, his arm is extended behind him, like where it's really, I guarantee you if you went and asked him right now if his armpit hurts, it's got to. Because you've got your arm way back here. You want that plant, your top hand should be straight up above your head or slightly to the front of you. If it's as far behind your head as his is, it's killing your momentum, and man, it's hard on the armpit. But it also kills that momentum, that transfer of energy, and he's doing well. I mean, an 11-foot jumper who's way underneath on his plan every time he fixes that, and he's a 12.6, maybe even 13-foot.
Could you imagine if you would correct that?
Yeah, and it's not one of those things that's always easy to correct in the middle of the season. But, there are some things that you can do. The other young man from Tatum that's down there, he has a really nice plant, really nice. His takeoff looks really good. Where he could use some work is that transition, that swing into the upside down position. His swing is not as, this young man, the JAL young man's got a really good swing. He's just underneath. So anyway, it's one of those things. You watch somebody shoot a basketball, there's always things that you say, oh, that kid dribbles well, but his jump shot's not. I mean, there's always something you can fix and everything. So Charlie sent us videos from his hotel room here. Yeah, Charlie. we know you're off on vacation. He's calling it work.
Yeah. Charlie. Poor Charlie.
We miss you, Charlie. I'm just messing with you. All right. Looks like Mr. Hatch is looking across here again, waiting on the
got
equipment.
his hand on his hip. You're like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red out there, and it's mostly Eunice players.
Yeah. I mean, Tatum wearing the black outfits today. Eunice in the red with the little white letters. And then, of course, we've got some JAL here.
Not that many JAL people here, though.
No, I had a couple of parents reach out to me and say, why aren't our kids going to that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not I'm just broadcasting. I don't know that answer. But
you usually know everything, Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes I know stuff and don't say I do, and sometimes
don't say that on the radio.
and sometimes that's the opposite. I really don't know anything. But
disclaimer somehow, man. That's twice I already said something.
Yeah, it's a mess. So.
Oh well, I just don't know nothing ever.
We're just waiting on the thumbs up from the equipment. Trying to look here and see if a shout out to our sponsors that have made our spring sports possible: NMR Pipeline, Thomas Welding, Guns Up Services, Redbird Gas, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy Services, Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Health Clinic, Badger Hydrovac, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, the City of Eunice, Eunice Public Schools, and Redbird Garage. They are the ones that make all of these broadcasts possible. Without them, there would be no baseball, softball, track, or anything.
Yeah, anything. Football.
Yep.
Volleyball. You, me,
hoops.
Charlie.
Yep.
There wouldn't be no thumb.
No, there'd be no thumb or no green gloves.
No green gloves, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Our last year to call green gloves.
that's
man.
right. We've got him out there on the track today.
He's a blondie today, ain't he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's competing in anything. I know he's already competed. I saw earlier where I had Matt Mata had sent a message saying he was tuned in and watching. I don't know.
I seen him earlier stretching out, running around a lap a couple of times. The gun is up in the air, sir.
All right, and there it goes. So trying to
button here.
take a look. You've got Melanson in the middle. He's got the pink shoes. Adam Watt is slightly behind him in the blue outfit. And way out there in front, I was trying to see who that is. I believe that's possibly Kenny No, that's Ben Oliveras. And down on the inside, I think, is Giancarlo Marquez. So out front is Melanson. He's trying to extend it. Ben trying to stay right there with him on his hip. Here comes Melanson down the stretch. Ben right there with him, trying to keep it close and not let Melanson get too far ahead. Melanson. Here comes Ben. He's going to make it close if he clears this last hurdle. And he kind of got off balance. Oh, and down goes, I think, is that Giancarlo?
Yes, sir.
And down goes Giancarlo, and Adam's going to finish, and across goes Giancarlo in. You just hope everybody's okay. It's never fun biting the dust, that is for sure. And Giancarlo, I think, lost a shoe in the middle of all that.
Yes, sir. Next to the last hurdle, he did.
Yeah.
But he went down, he got back up, and he finished the race, which is a great thing for an athlete to do.
Man, when you go down on that track, too.
It hurts.
It hurts. And that rubber, it's like court burn on steroids. It'll just rip all the hide off your knees and elbows. And so, once again, hope Giancarlo's doing it all right. Ben, the young man out there hustling, he kept it close, but Isaac Melanson gonna finish.
And one other thing you said earlier, if these coaches get that special training, that specific training for these hurdles, they'll dominate. At this age, they're doing a good job.
Got some good athletes. I mean, those two young men that finished first and second in that race, those are 8th graders.
Yes, sir.
So this 8th grade class, we've
It's
talked
stacked,
about them
brother.
over and over, man. They are stacked in every sport.
That's what, Sati?
Yep. Yeah, that is for sure. So, now it looks like they're going to have the girls' 1,600-meter medley relay.
And it looks like they're putting that pole up there on the high jump.
Yep, they're starting to get the pole vault ready. It's, when I had come up earlier, I believe it was at 10 foot, I think, and it was going to be the youngster from Tatum's turn.
Or his second attempt, right?
I can't remember. That is Garrett Anthony.
Shoeless Garrett Anthony.
Yeah. Trying to see if he's
not even out there, is he? Is he sitting down?
That may be him laying down. See the guy laying?
Yes, I do see him laying down.
He's taking it easy. He looks like he's getting a massage.
You gonna get in line, Mrs. Jones?
I think he's just getting a massage.
Got his personal massages out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word, but
masseuse.
Masseuse.
Yeah, so they've got him up now. He's on his feet, got a little massage. Now he's going to go over and get his pole from his coach, and he is ready, all massaged up.
That young man is entitled, took his $200 glasses off.
He is ready to go. So he is hustling out there onto the track.
As we're getting ready for this one person racing this one.
Yep. Yep, so we'll try to pay attention to the one-person relay race as well as
the one-person pole vault over there.
Yep. Yep. I was trying to see if I could determine who that is down there.
Looks like McGuire.
Yeah, and I thought so at first, but I don't see her on the list. The people that are listed are Paula Castro, Mila Lares, Ava Woods, and Alondra Maureen.
And there goes the young man from Tatum. Kicks the pole, but does not make it over.
Yeah, and I missed it. I was looking the other direction over here at the start of this relay, so I missed what he did there.
I think I got it on camera.
Yeah.
from afar, but we did. Just swinging over to this race.
Yeah, well, let's see what he does. I was going to say, I would almost bet that he'll go sit down and take it easy.
He's looking at camera right now, the film.
You know, that is one thing that you will definitely see in the pole vault no matter where you go is a lot of camera watching. Now, at state, they have some interesting rules with that kind of stuff.
I'm going to swing over towards the race.
Well, there's goes the gun up. So there goes the gun. Once again, not 100% certain who that is. I thought at first it might be Maureen, but I think Maureen is... No, surely Maureen ain't going to run the 800. I don't know. Here we go. So the way this relay works, this first one's going to run a 200 meters. So she's going to run a curve and a straight. She's going to hand it off, and the next runner is going to run a curve and a straight. So here comes the second runner. And this leg here runs the curve and the straightaway. Then the third runner is going to run a 400 meters, so 1 lap. And then the last runner runs an 800 meter, 2 laps. So hustling down this back stretch. They said that is Amelia Lares. And she is taking it home here to hand off. And there we go. And so this one is Ava Woods.
Mostly just 8th graders again, huh?
A bunch of youngsters for sure. And then I was looking out there. I think that's Alondra going to run the 800 meter. And once again, the 400 and 800, tough races. Tough races.
Here's some encouragement out there, huh?
I'm telling you. Ava Woods hustling down that back stretch as she heads into her final turn here.
It's quiet out there. They put him in lane 3, right?
Yeah. Well, and once they get around, they drop. So after the second leg, they all drop down into the inside. They're all the way down to lane 1 now.
You can tell when that wind hits him in the face, man. It just slows down tremendously.
Right out there on that curve, it gets them. Once they get to this back stretch, the bleachers kind of block it a little bit. So here we go. Ava Woods pushing it up, going to hand it to Alondra. And Alondra's going to take it, and she's got 2 laps to run here as the coaching staff down there trying to put up the pole vault bar, and they knocked it off. Not sure what they're going to do over there, but anyway. So Alondra Maureen with 2 laps, the senior. I didn't know she ran an 800, but she probably didn't either until she got here today. Said, hey,
it don't work that way.
You are the 800 meter runner today.
Guess what?
It works that way sometimes, for sure.
No comment.
So Alondra making the turn here. She's about 300 meters in to an 800 meter run. And here she comes down the back stretch, trying to finish off her first lap of 2.
That just sounds so hard, huh?
Yeah, definitely not a good time. So she's hustling down here. And she's got a lap to go. Yeah, this right here is where you get that kind of gut check. Come off that first lap and you're like, ooh, that was rough, and I still got another one of those to go.
So you start questioning, why am I even running track?
Yes,
I could play softball.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I could join the softball team. I could be in the dugout right now sipping on a latte.
I don't even have to start, coaches. I just want to be on the team. I'll strike foul balls.
Yeah.
Nah, but all due respect for these athletes out here, running track's a serious thing.
Absolutely. Definitely not an easy thing, for sure.
It's not a me thing, huh?
Man, and right now She's going to hit that wind here in just a second, and she's already thinking, dang it. But that wind right here about the pole vault mats is where you run head into it. And it's rough because I'm telling you, it's blowing out there, and you can tell by that flag. Right there, boy. It's just going to make you think, dang it. As Alondra trying to run head on into that wind around her last curve, and right now the wind is blowing. It is hitting her dead in the face, and if she can just make it about another 40 meters, she'll be behind the bleachers, and that'll block a lot of that wind.
It's probably the hardest 40 meters she ran today.
And now here she goes, trying to keep it going, the crowd cheering for her. I'm glad it ain't raining because she drowned with that head back that far running. That's the way I used to run. I'm telling you, I know. And that is a rough day right there trying to finish it off. Here comes the senior Alondra Maureen trying to get to the finish line, and she's hustling. And there she goes across the line. And Alondra Maureen with an 800. So looks like the team is looking at stopwatches, trying to figure out how close they are. Looks like they're not sure. They're all looking at stopwatches and trying to figure it out.
Oh, we got another race right back to back here.
Yeah, this will be the boys medley. So in this boys medley, you're going to have Eunice High School A and Eunice High School B. And we just talked about Old Green Gloves, a.k.a. Maddox. He's going to run this 1,600-meter sprint medley relay. Maddox Mata, he's going to be the lead-off runner in this one. Also there with him, according to this document, it is Grayson Meek, Hector Sosa, and Sebastian Rodriguez. Over on Eunice B, it'll be Zeke Garcia, Jesse Ornales, Omar Armendariz, and Cameron Robledo.
It's the old versus the new.
Yep.
You could per se.
Man, they have taken the crossbar completely off.
Yes, he's practicing way too much over there.
Oh, and he just came down with a crazy landing there. Oh, man, did you see him?
Yes, sir.
Man, he landed in the box, and that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, the other one, he landed on the mat on that side.
One of the things that Sean Francis says, he's the guy that runs the Team Hoot pole vault deal, a world-class pole vaulter and coach. He always says, you're successful in the pole vault if you land on the mat. As long as you do that, no matter whether you made it or didn't make it, you got to land on the mat. And I would say that is usually the key. When Chloe blew her knee, she landed on the mat. But it definitely, I've watched multiple people land similarly to the way that young man did in the box and have serious injuries, broken legs, that sort of thing. So you don't want to land in that box. It is not friendly down there.
This is a scary event. I don't think I could do it.
The pole vault?
The pole vault. First of all, I'm too big. I know they make some strong pole vaults, but just getting up that 5 feet in the air.
Shoot, they got telephone poles you could get on.
I'm probably be able to pick one up, but I don't know.
You just got to be able to run fast with it. So this young man's back again. Like I said, he's taken a whole bunch of.
Look how far back he is now, that bigger green pole.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. What he's done is he's moved on to a bigger pole.
The race about to start over here, Mr. Jones.
And his steps are off. So yeah, they've got the gun in the air, and there they go on the start. Maddox Mata on the inside. I think that's Zeke Garcia there to his right, and Mata making the turn, and he is moving. Green gloves, without his green gloves, stretching it down the back stretch.
Look at the kid, he's fast.
Man, he's
with
moving.
The camera.
Maddox Mata hustles down the backside, and he's going to hand off, and I believe that is Grayson Meek that he just handed it to. Meek enters the curve and heads down the stretch here. The first 200 meter complete, and we're in the middle of the second 200 meter. Here comes Meek, hustling in there, trying to see who he's going to hand to. And I think that's going to be Hector Sosa, and I think he can cut in. There he goes, a late cut in. And that's Omar Armendariz who cuts in there in the third leg. Each one of these will run one full lap. Man, I tell you, Hector Sosa is moving over there.
He's built for it, too. Long, skinny.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah, he's so far
good job there.
run well, and there he chopped his steps again. Yes, I'm watching pole vaulting and running at the same time. Steps are off on that pole. And so here comes Sosa down the stretch, and he is still going. Sosa trying to finish, and he's going to hand this off to Sebastian Rodriguez. Hector Sosa with a good leg there. And here goes Rodriguez. And here comes Omar Armendariz trying to finish here for the second group. Got them fluorescent orange shoes on, and he's sprinting his little legs off down there to the end, and he's going to hand off to Cameron Robledo.
Sebastian, the one who qualified for the high jump earlier too, right?
I believe you are correct. Yes, sir. Another one of those 8th graders.
Look at that stride he has. Nice stride out there. See how he does when he turns into the wind.
Definitely running. As he is trying to finish this off and take his medley relay team to Albuquerque. Sebastian Rodriguez with about a little over 100-meter lead on his partner Cameron Robledo, both Eunice teams in this relay. That's a good, I heard somebody yell 53. If he's at 53 right there, that is a good pace that he's running on that first leg. That's a really good pace.
Yes. He hasn't slowed down much just on his second turn.
Yep. If he can keep that pace or increase, that's good 800-meter time. I know I talk a lot of trash, but I actually used to run the 800-meter up until about my sophomore, junior year. Then I kind of started sliding away from it. I didn't really like it. I like the little shorter races, but
that's when you matured a little bit, realized.
Yeah, I started going, man, what am I doing out here running these longer ones? When I was a freshman, my team in Arkansas qualified in the 3,200-meter relay. Every team or every kid run a 800. And we actually finished second in state. And in Arkansas, they have the state meet of champions. And you go compete in the top 2 in every class. Go to another meet the week after state to compete against all classes. So here comes Sebastian Rodriguez. He's trying to give it all she's got down the back stretch. Pushing. He's got his team cheering him on. He's trying to get there and see if he can get there on another
qualifying time, hopefully, right?
And his coaches are jumping up and down, high-fiving each other, so they are cheering, so they're thinking he made it. So I'm assuming by the way they're all jumping around hollering that they think they just qualified for state in the medley relay. And so I can only assume that all of that cheering and hollering and bouncing around with their fists in the air mean that they believe they just qualified the medley relay for state. And so the young man, Sebastian Rodriguez, runs a heck of a last leg off a great first leg from Maddox Mata. And then, of course, the second from Grayson Meek. And then Hector Sosa in that third leg also had a great leg. Yes. And then Sebastian Rodriguez, the youngster, finishes it off. And that group looks like, based on what I'm seeing, will go to the state track meet.
Back to the pole vault action. I think that's the Jow guy up there now.
Yes, it is. Young man from Jow in the pole vault is Andre Rodriguez.
A lot of Rodriguez out there competing today, huh?
Yep, that is true.
So you seen Alina out there throwing the shot put earlier, right?
Yeah. Went over, visited with Alina a little bit. She was out there doing her thing with a ball in her hand, except this one was a heavy steel one.
She's doing a little finger roll with that steel one.
Yeah, it might be hard on your knuckles. So, I guess they made the choice to move the bar up. Not sure what they're going to go up to, but they are going up. So what we've got remaining is the girls' 200-meter dash. The boys' 200-meter dash actually has 2 heats, and that'll be the end of this thing. There's no 4x1, or I'm sorry, 4x4, at least on this list of races that I have today.
You got our faithful fans over there.
Yeah, we got some folks tuned in and listening out in the bleachers waving at us.
Giving us a thumbs up. I think that's what it was, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that was a thumb. And Jorge Ontiveros, you're number one in our hearts, baby. We love you. We're thinking about you.
We need you out here to run the heavy man race.
That's right. That's right. We may have to get you out here to pole vault.
That is a diva event over there, I think, because as long as it's taken and the young kid getting massages, taking his shoes off.
You and Recindo can use the same pole.
Little telephone pole.
Some pole
We're like
vaulters.
some giant apes out there, huh?
I'm telling you, some pole vaulters.
Me, him, Charlie, and George, huh?
All on the same pole.
No. So I guess we got another 5-minute break.
Yeah, definitely. The pole vault has been, this is a quick track meet, but the pole vault has been
the whole meet.
It's been going on since the meet. It was one of the first.
And they only
events.
have 3 boys competing.
Yeah, and only 1 girl. And they're gonna go that is gonna be going on when this track meet ends.
They're turning the lights on for that one. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to ask for extra time.
But they have literally, I've watched them. They've started the meet, or like started jumps, and then they've taken the bar down and practiced for 3, 4, 5 jumps. So it's just been a long, slow process down there. The track meet on Friday will be much longer than this one as a whole, but I would almost bet you that the pole vault won't last as long.
If it does?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I'm betting it doesn't last this long.
We're going to have to pack a lunch for Friday's event.
Yeah.
It's a little quiet time there.
So Andre Rodriguez standing on the runway. Looks like the staff over there trying to get the standards correct. I think they've got it now, so I think they're maybe just waiting on the breeze to cool down a bit.
And as that's going on, they're going to run the 200. The ladies are going to be running the 200 here, correct?
Yeah, so we'll have the 200
right
first.
Behind the pole vault.
And this one's going to be a bunch of Eunice and Tatum runners. The inside lane, according to this, will be Kenna McBee, Amaya Brito, both from Eunice, Sydney Rice of Tatum, Aubrey Young of Tatum, and then Diana Anguiano of Eunice and Paula Castro of Eunice. A lot of real close times leading into this event. I mean, you've got Kenna McBee with a 30.46. You've got Amaya Brito with a 29.67, so less than a second behind. Sydney Rice with a 29.04. Aubrey Young with a 29.19. Diana Anguiano with a 29.92. Wow. So with the exception of one runner, all of the rest of them are basically within a second of each other.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good relay team right there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm guessing now the only thing that they could possibly be doing is that these jumpers don't want to jump with all the 200-meter runners down there.
Are you serious?
I'm guessing. I mean, what else could be holding them up? I mean, really.
I don't know much about track, man.
That's the only thing I can think of, that they're just waiting because the 200's getting ready to start right behind the mats.
They think they might get distracted by the runners, or they don't want to land on the runners?
Shoot, of course, I'm me, but I welcomed everybody looking that way. I'd be grabbing my pole saying, let me show you something right quick while everybody's looking over.
That's Jimmy for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Look at Andre. He's going to do the same thing. He's like, let me grab my pole and go ahead and go right quick. Yep, see? Look at him. I'd wait till they said runners to your mark, and then I'd take off while everybody was looking over
Everybody's looking at him, even the scout's gun.
Here we go.
No pressure.
And he's up and over. And now they're going to say runners to the mark right behind him. So all of these young ladies in heat number 1. There only is 1 heat for the girls. Boys, there's 2. So trying to take a look out there and see if the lane assignments are the same as what they've given me here, and I can't tell. I believe that's a Maya Brito down on the inside.
Yes, you're right.
And she is trying to make the turn. And I think that's Diana Anguiano there with her. And Sydney Rice is out in the lead. And Amaya Brito, the 8th grader's trying to edge her. They're fighting for the finish line. The senior trying to hold off the 8th grader, and she does, as Sydney Rice will hold off Amaya Brito. But I can tell you, Amaya Brito is a young lady that you better get ready to watch on the track the next few years. She reminds me of a young lady that might be a little partial to my heart, and that's a Chloe Jones at that 8th grade level. The young lady can run.
Yes, she can.
I mean, she's out there shoulder to shoulder with Sydney Rice, a young lady that we've watched since she was an 8th grader out here competing at the high school level, multiple time state champion in different sports. And so Sydney Rice is the real deal, and Amaya Brito just went toe-to-toe with her all the way to the finish line. And the senior put her away right there at the end, but a very good race.
8th grader, man. Put that in perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
So here come the boys at the stretch out again.
Yeah, and it looks like Andre Rodriguez is going to get out there and get him another run at this one, while they're getting ready to start that 200-meter, and the gun held by Mr. Hatch. He's like, hey, let me watch this pole vault right quick. He's got a little interest in the pole vault. And he's up and over.
It. Good job, young man.
So Andre Rodriguez clears that bar. And the young man, I can't tell, of course, from here, I can't tell what the height is. His high for the year has been 11 foot coming into this track meet. So
gun is in the air.
So the gun is up. This is heat number 1. Josh Harris of Tatum, Hyan Castro, Jose Valenzuela, Elijah Melanson, Tyson Coy, and Elgin Woods. So this does appear to be the fast heat. The fastest person in this race is Jose Valenzuela of Jao with a 23:88. So here they come. That young man from Jao has the best time. And right on his outside shoulder is Elijah Melanson. And they are side by side coming out of the curve. Now they're into the stretch. Melanson, Valenzuela running away with it right now. Hyan Castro in 3rd. You're going to have Valenzuela. Melanson and Hyan Castro are close at the line. And then bringing up the end was Josh Harris of Tatum.
That's a good race right there, nice and fast. I thought it was closer towards the curve.
Yeah.
When they got that straightaway, Jao kind of broke out.
Yeah, for sure. When you're just slightly inside the person that you know that you've got to beat, it's kind of an advantage for you because you know where you've got to get to. And if you're that guy that's out slightly ahead of them, you can't see them until they come up in your peripheral vision. And if they're on the inside lane coming up in your peripheral vision, by the time you see them, it's usually too late because they've got a shorter distance to the finish line by the time you see them than you've got left. So in heat number 2 is Daniel Ornalis of Jao, David Gaitan of Jao, Alberto Sainz of Eunice, Davian Navarrete of Jao, Lucas Lopez, the 8th grader from Eunice, and Ben Olivares, another 8th grader from Eunice. Man, the 8th grade class for Eunice. I keep saying it, but wow. Boys, girls, both classes have got some athletes in that 8th grade class.
And that's in track. I'm pretty sure they dominate in basketball and football as well.
Look at our baseball team.
Boy.
I think, any given day, they're liable to have 4 or 5 8th graders out there on the team.
On the field.
Yeah, with the varsity, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Charlie's sending us some images, but I can't.
It's a pole vault guy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's making fun of us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do what that guy just did, Charlie. Don't do that. That is not good. And there goes the gun. This one, there's 3 Jal and 3 Eunice, and they're all in there. Trying to take a look at who that is out in the front. That is lane number 5, I believe, which is going to be Davian Navarrete. Just inside him is Alberto Sainz. I believe that's who that is. Alberto Saenz is out in front. There's a young man with a mask on running him down the backside. That's Lucas Lopez. And Lucas looking like a serial killer as he came down the back stretch and finished in third.
Like
Mike got the
Spider-Man.
second. Yeah, it's like Spider-Man.
There's a Spider-Man mask.
Spider-Man, where have you gone to, my Spider-Man?
1600-meter sprint medley relay qualified for state.
So the boys medley relay did qualify. 3:54.97, I believe, is what I heard.
I believe she said that.
So the boys medley relay from Eunice does qualify. Ultimately, that's the goal of this meet. It's not to come out here and win every event. It's to qualify folks for state. We've qualified for sure a high jumper. We've qualified a medley relay for sure.
On the medley relay, the anchor guy was Rodriguez as well.
The young man that qualified in the high jump earlier.
So he's going to be busy in Albuquerque.
Yes, he is. So here comes Andre Rodriguez on the new height, I believe. Going to plant and go up. Drove into that one. So he's going to miss his first attempt. And I believe the track meet
it's pretty much over, right?
Is over, with the exception
of the pole vault.
Of the pole vault. Yeah, that is all we're waiting on. It was one of the, it was the first event to start this track meet. And it's going to be the last one to finish with all 4 competitors, boys and girls total, for the day.
A little bit of overtime.
Oh, man.
On a Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
Athletes and spectators, please pick up your trash on the way out. Athletes, make sure the field is cleaned up as well.
That was his first attempt at that height, right? That young man?
Yeah, so I had Bob Klaus send me a message here, and yes, sir, this is what you just sent me is definitely the case. It says at the district track meet, all first and second place finishers in each event automatically qualify for state, plus anyone who runs the qualifying time or distance, except in the relays. The winner of the relay goes to state. So I believe everything that you said right there is correct. My question or my thing that I couldn't answer for you earlier is how many can go in each event. I don't know if it's unlimited. If you've got 5 people that all qualify in the pole vault, do all 5 get to go? I know at one point it was just you only got to put 3 in each event.
That was when we were in high school.
Yes.
But as it is now.
So I don't know if it's still that way anymore. I want to say a couple of years ago, Clayton had a whole bunch of pole vaulters when I went up there one year, and they had like 6 or 8 pole vaulters that had all qualified.
So it's his second attempt. He doesn't clear it.
Yeah.
So we got 25 more minutes of pole vaulting.
Yes, we do.
I'm not complaining. It's actually something different to do this afternoon.
Yeah.
Everything went kind of quick, other than that little bit delay here and delay there. But other than that, I believe we did a decent job today.
Yeah, I mean, are there things we could do better? I'll go home and sit and watch this probably 500 times, and my wife will think I'm crazy. But
you don't have to watch it 500 times, and she knows you're crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just trying to see what we can do better. I know we've had some good suggestions, recommendations from folks that have sent messages and whatnot, so we definitely appreciate that.
Yes. Because that's the only way we can get better at our craft.
Yeah. Well, and for years when we started with basketball and football, we tried to make adjustments. I mean, realistically, when we started broadcasting this stuff, all anybody did, nobody had a camera guy. All anybody did in Hobbs, Lovington, whatever, was they just pointed their camera toward the middle of the field, open up the zoom as wide as they could, and it just sat there the whole game. They never moved it. They never zoomed in on anybody. And we were the first to start saying, hey, let's have a camera person who moves the camera and actually zooms in a little bit here and there. And then there were some other things that we did, and we kind of learned as we went and tried to make our broadcast a little better and a little better. And this is a trial and error deal on this track. Nobody else around here does this. There are some groups that cover some track meets with multiple camera angles and all that. We don't have that ability with our current system. But here goes Rodriguez for his final attempt, and he's not going to get over. And that will be your track meet. Once again, this was just a qualifier track meet. This is kind of a track meet, not to see who necessarily wins and loses. The goal here, of course, if you're in my family, anytime you step on any court, track, whatever, the goal is to win.
Yes.
But the ultimate goal here was to qualify for state, and several folks from several schools did qualify here for state. So that's a good thing. And so, anyway, any final thoughts?
No, I look forward to it Friday. Tune in Friday, the same thing, but that's going to be a district meet. I believe we're going to be a little higher up in the stands here, so we probably get different angles for you.
Yeah, we'll try to move up and get our stuff up in the booth up above us. I think that will give us a better angle.
And hopefully our traditional cameraman will be here.
That's right, Charlie. He's out there listening, making jokes right now as he's sitting on vacation in a hotel. We'll shout out to our sponsors, NMR Pipeline, Thomas Welding Services, Guns Up Services, Redbird Gas, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy, Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Health Clinic, Badger Hydrovac, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, the City of Eunice, Eunice Schools, and Redbird Garage. For Charlie Fairbrush off on vacation, Evie and all the gang over at One Radio Square, and Rosendo Caballero, I'm Jimmy Jones saying good night, everybody. Thank you for listening.